All right. Is everyone ready?
I'm ready.
I'm ready to dungeon some dragons.
I
Kin-
prefer to delve into the dragons.
Kinky. Alrighty, then here we
Just
go.
dabbled in the dungeoning of dragons.
Well, I got like a whole background music and everything and a whole intro monologue to get you all started here. So here we go.
Wait, I can't hear it.
Yeah, me either.
Oh, there we go.
There it is.
I was gonna say have everybody
Well-
mute themselves while we do the
Welcome to
introduction.
Rallus, a world teeming with danger and riches. A world that for as long as you have known has always been on the edge. And it's an edge that you're all going to become very familiar with. You find yourself on an airship flying high above the clouds. This ship, one of many, transports the latest drafted recruits of the Greyblades, the largest and most powerful guild of warriors and hunters the civilized world has ever known. It is the Greyblades that hold the line against the wicked monsters of the wild that have only ever sought one thing: the death of everything. You and many others make your way to Dallin Outpost, one of the many training camps that help get all new drafted recruits geared and trained to tackle the horrors of the wilds. The airship makes its descent through the clouds, and you can see the outpost itself, a large fort of wood and stone on a rocky hill. Its high wooden walls spiked with many spears, pointing towards the massive forest that surrounds it. The airship makes its landing on a large wooden platform, but before anyone can get off, a large man walks onto the ship and faces you all. This man is Tarek, one of the squad leaders of Dallin Outpost. He steps onto the airship, and he just kind of stands in the middle of the aisle, and he just kind of looks at everyone, back and forth. He eyes everyone up and down as he silently walks down the aisle. Is this really everyone we can spare? God. Alright, listen up, everyone. You all know why you're here. So move out! Come on, get up! Double time! And then he turns around and he exits the airship. Already, pretty much all of the recruits are getting out of their seats, they're getting all of their packs and gear and such, and they're all starting to shuffle off of the ship. It's actually a rather large ship with a large crowd, so everyone is starting to like push everyone off of the ship, and you all make your way out onto the platform. Already, there are many guards that are trying to keep order and stability as everyone is basically funneled into these many different single-file lines, and all these lines go into this large wooden building, which looks like it used to be some sort of very large meat hall, but it's been renovated to be more of like a barracks. And already, as you make your way into the building, you start to see what look like rows of tables. And at these tables are a bunch of people with many pieces of parchment as they seem to take down the information of everyone that has gotten off of the ship. And this is where we finally start to meet everyone. So the first of you can all unmute yourselves now if you want. The first of you all get to decide which, because you're all in single file. The first of you walks up to this table, and you see a small dwarf who doesn't even look up at you. He's just focused on this parchment and his quill in his hand, dips it in a whole glob of ink, and he's like, all right, name?
Fine, I'll go first. Velasquez Garland. I'm a tiefling. I'm a criminal. They brought me here.
Ah, so they finally put you here to finally pay for your dues, huh? It's about time we got more of your kind in here. That's the majority of the people we got saddled with. Alright, what are your skills?
That's a good question.
What, you don't know what your own bloody hands do? Come on, tell me.
I'm good at animal handling, deception, insight.
I didn't expect you to just read off your paper.
I am good at
I'm trying to keep it formal, alright? Trying to keep it organized. They handed me this piece of paper. I don't know.
All right, fine. Give it to me. Like, do you hand him the paper?
Yeah, I hand paper. Yeah.
All right, he takes it from you, drops down a couple notes. All right, you're in Group D. Next.
I hate explaining shit.
All right, name.
Well,
My name is.
Oh, go for it.
Hey, no cutting in line. One at a time. All right, name.
Go for it, class.
Class.
My
Do we need a roll for this too?
my name is Yip. I'm a simple traveler. I was found and recruited for this.
And the dwarf kind of hears your voice. It's very soft. He looks up at you and he's like, "Oh, we finally got ourselves a birdman. I was wondering when one of your kind might be brash enough to finally make it down to the surface world. All right, what are your skills?"
I am simply good with my hands and my spear. I am a modest man. I can't say much other than that.
He just kind of looks at you up and down. All right, good enough. Give me your paper.
And I hand him my paper.
Takes it, jots down a couple notes. All right, you're in Group D. Next.
Hi, I'm Davina. Hi, I'm Davina.
All right,
That's all you need to know about me.
all right, Davina.
We're all gonna die. I'm just saying it right now.
Hey, shut up!
I'm sure we are. Someday.
All right, so woman of few words makes my job easier. What are your skills?
Well, I have this gigantic axe here. Pretty good at chopping stuff
Big
down.
fella.
And
Big fucking ass.
also, I'm pretty good at magic as well.
I was wondering when we might get some floozy magic users here in this party.
Oh, I'm not a floozy.
Do I look like I give a damn? All right, you're in Group D. Next.
Hello, my name is Miss Straw.
Oh, you're a colorful-looking lass here. All right, Miss Strauss. Is that with one or two L's?
One.
Okay, one L. He kind of scratches the second L a bit that he automatically wrote. All right, what are your... He actually, before he completes the sentence, kind of looks over, sees the drum at your hip. Oh, you're one of those.
Yes, I'm one of those.
So, like,
We're
is there
deep in
an
drums.
issue?
Wait, I'm sorry, what'd you say?
Is there an issue?
Yeah. As long as you're willing to put yourself out there in the woods like everyone else, doesn't matter to me. All right, you're in Group D. Next.
I'm Eden.
He kind of looks at you, just kind of blinks for a moment, looks back like, wait, didn't I already just check you in?
Oh,
Are you saying we all look alike? Is that what you're saying?
And it just kind of like rubs him up, like, he realizes like, oh, there's two of you. All right, name, what are your skills?
Eden, and I'm good, very well equipped with this rapier. And he puts his hand on the hip of the handle of the rapier.
He kind of looks at the rapier for a moment and goes like, huh, well, if you're able to use that toothpick against what we're up against, then I'm not gonna judge. All right, you're in Group D. Next. Hello?
I'm sorry. Am I the last guy?
Yeah, you're the last guy.
Sorry. I'm currently dealing with some technical difficulties on a different computer right now.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
All right. So yeah, no. My guy would approach up to the guy. He's a slender guy. He's probably shorter than the majority of you. I have probably about 5'6" or so. And he has like this striking like blue hair that's kind of like almost Super Saiyan-esque, like striking up. And as he like says next, I just kind of like walk past him and I pat him on the shoulder and I say, "Hey, you know, it's me. I'm with Sir Jordan. You know, he's just over there." And like I start like to try to like walk past him.
Give me a persuasion check.
I didn't know that we were supposed to like say what our characters looked like.
You can.
You can.
So what?
But yeah, Kevin, give me a persuasion check.
Sure. Forgive me. I need to bring up my character sheet again.
You're fine. You're fine.
I think I actually did put down my character's like look, kind of.
I'm really excited about.
We're
what that
looking-
looks like, 'cause she's cool.
We're looking at a total of 9.
Oh.
The dwarf just kind of looks at you for a moment. He goes like, "Oh, hey," and then he just kind of goes back to his writing. But then he's like, "Wait." The DC on that was 10, but because you, but here's the thing. Even though you technically failed because it was just below 10, you still get to walk away. So he recognizes you, but you're already like gone.
What is? Oh well, it's fine.
And it's
So like, who? I'm sorry to cut you off. Who would you say out of everybody? I was in and out when I was listening. Is probably like the biggest, like broadest looking character here.
I think it would either be Davina or Rolo, because Rolo's like a tiefling fighter, but Davina we have here is an actual barbarian.
Are you
Gotcha.
sure,
I see
Mistral?
the-
You know, it's definitely the huge. I'm kidding. It was a really bad.
The lady that was holding up your hand. What was your character's name?
My name's Davina.
Davina. So like, I kind of like come up behind you, and I kind of have like my arm attempting to go around you, but I'm probably like shorter than you, right?
And I just say, "Excuse me." I do
Hey,
not
yeah,
like-
we're in Group D, right?
Yeah.
Well, so Colo, you Philistine!
You touch me again, I break your face.
I kind of like put my hands up in a surrender, and I'm just like, you know, I do like my face. I was trying to make a friend, and I give like a very like flamboyant bow, and I say, I am Sterling the Fifth. My last name's the Fifth. There's not 5 of us.
It's spelled with a Y. It's spelled with a Y.
Gives like a smile and walks as far away from you as she can.
And I want to say, like, if the audience is like looking at us, I'm like, hey, wait, where are you going? And the camera's like zooming out, like, I'm going on to the next character.
When did this become the office?
Characters look like?
Well, here's the thing. Now that you've all been basically placed into Group D, you're all basically sitting at the same table now. So if you want to start like interacting with each other, like you can start now. You have some time before the next thing happens. So like, go ahead.
So I am just staring into space while I'm just doing a really weird ass rhythm on my drum. Just
Like you're so stoned that you're just like, yeah, man.
Yeah.
Like,
Mistral's from like some high places. So like
owls like have glasses, but
like she's a
don't.
high elf, but she's like a
She's a
high
high elf.
That kind of.
Writing another song.
just going
She's just staring at a wall right now.
And like you're playing a rhythm, but it's not even like in any time. It's just like random beats at random times. It's like
Sometimes she misses every once in a while.
Meanwhile, I'm just sitting in the background, just munching on bread, judging all of you.
Yip is kind of at the table. He has a deck of cards, and like is obviously very stands out in the group as being the only bird person. And he has like like picture an eagle. That's him.
Very cool.
Like picture a humanoid eagle, and that's my character. And he's shuffling a deck of cards.
Well, a Davina would be
October, well
probably. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
5 silver, well spent.
Nice.
Card.
So Davina's probably just like in a corner braiding her very like light hair with some like lavender feathers in and out of it that you can't tell if they are part of her hair or if they're like accents that she added.
Ooh.
She also has very like luminescent skin and has golden eyes and is constantly always wearing a cloak to cover her shoulders.
What race is Davina?
You don't gotta worry about it yet, Pam.
Don't worry about it. Well, what is you? Some kind of racist?
I never thought we'd get into racism so soon.
Hey man.
So quickly.
All of the orange people look alike. And it took me a hot second to realize that's what you meant.
Okay. So this is based off of like Pathfinder, but I think it will work. So Eden is like far away from anyone else because he has like almost smoking eyes, just really off. Horns that look like dragons. His skin is almost like an off red, almost black. He has obviously the typical tail, fanged teeth, forked tongue, and anytime he's under a light source, no shadow.
Very
cool.
Very cool.
Pathfinder man, I love it.
Ominous.
That's interesting.
Oh man, I love you guys already.
But yeah, he's like as far away from anyone else, just like sitting, not wanting anything to do with anyone.
All right, so is that pretty much? Anyone else want to do anything before things get started here?
I'm missing a horn. There.
Ooh.
Just a horn.
There's
Yeah.
a story there.
Yeah. I was in
guess
prison.
You were in prison and you got a horn taken away?
Yeah. Prison fight.
Ah, okay. It wasn't just a prison guard saying that was your payment to get out.
Yeah. No. Honestly, a prison fight would sound more interesting anyway. So.
Yeah, true.
I would just finish off my character description, other than the fact that she is a high elf, is that
Token.
she's very pale in all senses, meaning her hair, her skin, her attire, and her eyeballs are all just very pale.
Are they like blue or are they like almost white?
So her eyes are gray, her hair is white, and she really likes the monotone feel. It's really good on trips because then she doesn't have to worry about anything. Everything matches, so.
Nice.
All right, so is anyone else gonna do anything right now, or have you pretty much gotten yourself straightened out right now?
I go to the high elf and ask if I can borrow some of the weed.
Hey man, that's what?
Do you spice?
Pass that shit. You're bogarting.
Pass the doji on the left-hand side.
Yeah, I know how to take a hit.
You're.
I just look at you blankly and I'm just like,
Yeah, my room is so bad.
I need equal trade, man. Equal trade.
Like what?
The law of equivalent exchange, man.
The law of equivalent exchange.
Exactly.
Don't you know?
You want me to give you more weed? If I already had weed, I wouldn't need to ask you for it.
You gotta give me something that's equivalent or more of an ounce of weed. So
Give her some food.
Hey,
Alright, you want this bread?
yes, hand over the bread.
Okay, alright.
I shove the weed in your face and take the bread out of your hand.
Hey, man,
Just this whole handful of pot leaves just go right into your face.
This isn't how you get hard!
Rolo, I want you to make a Constitution saving throw.
What? Okay, well, you're gonna have to explain that.
Just roll a d20, dude. You don't have to worry about the details.
Holy shit! A 19!
Okay, so, okay, this would have been an easy one. If you rolled a 5 or lower, you would have gotten, like, super high, because that's, like, a whole lot of pot leaves going right in your mouth right now. But you rolled a 19, so you feel nothing right now. You just kind of, like, spit out the leaves, and you're just holding them in your hand right now.
What kind of business are you running here, High Elf? Give me back my bread!
Wait, is that your response? Is he just you eating chips in front of him? Oh,
do you
God.
guys
That's the
mind if I,
bread. You gotta imagine
Wait,
that's the bread.
guys, hold on. Kevin, what?
Oh, no, you're good. I was about to say, do you guys mind if I interject into the scene?
If
Go
you
ahead.
want to, yeah.
So like I want to say, like, if I see you guys, like, maybe I'm just like casually walking by the nice lady that shoved me off of her a moment ago. Didn't seem to want to do anything with me. Excuse me. Is your character a lady as well, or is it a yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, just making sure. So like as I come over, like maybe the scene kind of like switches over to me just for a moment, and like the audience will see me just kind of like sniff into the air, like, huh, what? And then like I turn over and I see these two characters having this exchange, and I walk over and I'm like, are we having an old-fashioned smoke leaf exchange? Like, man, I kind of like reach into my pocket and I pull out like a bag, and I'm like, oh nope, that's oregano. And then like I reach into the other pocket or whatever, and I just, man, the most loud like smell comes off of this bag. And I say, what do you got, high elf?
I got indica.
Man, you got the whole genre, like the whole
Yep.
the whole
Yep,
kit and caboodle?
I got like all different strands, man. Just like
I feel like you just buy it from everybody and then you just mix it in one bag.
you know, it's kind of like when you like
It's 6 different
You
kinds of weed. It's called the Infinity Bong.
yeah.
And I couldn't get high on any of it?
Well, you were supposed to take it and roll it, but you decided to like let me shove it in your mouth.
I didn't let you shove it in my mouth.
You didn't close
I
your
don't-
mouth. You like let it happen.
That does sound like permission to shove it in your mouth.
Is it
If
like
you're
a
not-
Jeffrey?
So what?
What?
Have you ever seen Kim to the Greek?
What?
Kim to the Greek?
Oh, get him to the Greek.
Oh, I have no idea.
Oh god.
Stroke
Hold
is
on.
cool. It has everything in it. Every drug you could ever think of.
Oh, that.
Oh, the movie with
Russell Brand and
Russell Brand.
Yeah. Russell
Jonah
Brand
Hill's in it.
and Jonah Hill. There you go. Yeah, that guy.
P. Diddy's in it too.
That's so random.
I apologize.
That's so weird.
Wow.
All right. Does anyone have any else to do here before we move on?
Yeah, Mistral's kind of sobering up to go on, get going.
All right. Awesome.
Then Jeff walks up to her and just pats her on the shoulder, like, it'll be okay.
Thanks.
All right. So if that's gonna be it, pretty much this entire mess hall, there's just like a whole bunch of long tables, and you notice that each of these tables has like a giant letter on it, and of course all of your giant table that you're all seated at has a giant letter D on it, and that kind of refers back to what the dwarf said. You're all in group D right now. As you sit there, a hush goes over the mead hall, and all eyes just kind of like turn in one direction. And standing on this giant platform, kind of like a stage, which it looks like there used to be, back when this was like a normal mead hall, this used to be where like the band played. But now, that giant man with the giant sword that you saw step onto the airship before you all got basically shoved off, Tarek is his name. He stands on the stage. The room goes completely silent. And he just kind of looks over the crowd for a moment, kind of disapprovingly so. His eyes are narrowed. And he just goes, "Well, you're finally here. I don't need to tell you how dangerous this is, but we need every able-bodied man and woman here." Kind of looks at a couple of you. His eyes also kind of fall on Davina and Mistral for a moment, but then he kind of passes over and looks at all the others and such. Right now, we find ourselves in a bit of a quandary here. We're running low on recruits, and things are starting to get a little more aggressive out there beyond our walls. We need to provide safety for all of civilization out there. I can't lie to you right now. The animals out there, they're starting to get a little bolder, starting to get a little more dangerous. That being said, things are not entirely hopeless right now. And that's why we brought all of you here. You're going to train hard. And I will personally see to it that once you people make it through this camp and you move up in our ranks, I will make sure, personally sure, that you all become well-known protectors of the realm here. That being said, we have assignments for all of you here. And then he kind of reaches into his pack and he unrolls this huge thing of parchment. And I'm not really going to go over it because I didn't think of these. But basically what he's doing is that he's going through all of the different groups, A, B, C, whatever, and he's listing off all of their major duties. But then he falls onto Group D, which is all of you guys. And he goes, Group D! Where's Group D?
Over here.
And he hears like
I have a quick question. Is he gonna make a man out of us? Is that what he...
Do I look like a man to you?
Do you really want us to answer that question?
This is not a Mulan moment. I'm sorry.
Okay, and he with a couple people that are saying here, and the rest are just silently raising their hands. He just goes, "See me when we're done here." Group E, and then he just kind of goes back down the list all the way to I think let's say Group L. There's a lot of different recruits. There were multiple ships that landed at this camp. Once he's done with the groups and their tasks, he rolls up the parchments, and he goes "That'll be all? Dismissed." And then his eyes just fall on Group D, and he just kind of goes "Come with me." And then he walks off his stage, and he starts to head out of the barracks and into basically the open parts of this camp. Do you all follow him?
Yeah.
I heavily contemplate walking with Group E. But then see maybe one of the bigger boulder bodyguards or guards following him, and I'm and I turn back around.
I heavily contemplate napping.
Mood.
I follow by doing the classic Monty Python of
The coconut.
yeah, but with my drum because I'm so talented that I can make horse noises with my drum.
That shit keeps me up, so I decide I'm just gonna follow you guys anyway.
Okay, and what about the little guy? Does he follow?
Am I the little guy?
You are the little guy, yes.
When you're 6'4" in real life, but then you play someone short and you're not used to being called short.
Oh yeah, that's...
Yeah, no, yeah, I follow.
All right, so
maybe I'm also kind of dancing to the little horse beat drum thing going on.
I mean, I'm short and tiny, so that's why I always play the bigger characters.
Nice.
All right, so you all follow Tarek out of the barracks, and you just kind of notice that all of the other groups are going literally the opposite direction out of that entrance or exit of the building. Once all of you are out of the barracks and out into the open, Tarek then turns to each one of you, and he just kind of gives you all a look of acknowledgement just to make sure that you're all are here right now. And he kind of walks up a bit closer to the group so he can talk a little softer. And goes "All right, Group D, you all are not going to like this, but you've been selected for quite possibly a very dangerous task. But don't worry, I will personally see to it that you make it out of this one alive."
Fantastic.
Did I say
I don't believe you. you say something, elf.
What?
I'm not an elf.
Sir. Sir.
And it's
Captain. Why us?
Because right now, you've already been pre-selected based on your necessary skills and such. Everyone else, while definitely what we would call capable fighters, they don't exactly have the skills and diverse abilities that all of you together have. So, that's why, unfortunately, this task had to fall on you, because, well, unfortunately, we're a little short-manned right now. Obviously doesn't look it with all the new recruits, but we need to put this into a group that we know could possibly pull off the task. And then he just kind of leans in, kind of speaks a little softly. He goes, "We've been having a lot of issues lately with the local wildlife. We've sent out a bunch of scouts because we've noticed that things are changing out there in the woods. The animals are definitely getting bolder, and they've been trying to break through pretty much every night now. But not only that, Our scouts in our watchtowers have said that they've been able to find a location in the forest. Something that seems to attract these animals. But not like they found a new kind of food source, but something is calling to them. And they're either for some ungodly reason, it's like they're standing guard. Honestly, we don't know what, because essentially every time we've sent out scouts to investigate, none of them have ever returned. And unfortunately, that's the task that you're all saddled with. Your mission is that I need you to venture out there when you can. And I need you to find out the reason as to what happened to our previous scouts. We'll mark the location on your maps, but that being said, we're not asking you to go right this second. You're all very new here. I want to make sure that you're all prepared. And that's when he reaches into his pack and he reaches out what looks like just a brown card with what looks like a little black skull branded into the little piece of wood right here. And he gives each to one of you. That right there is a requisitions pass. I want you to...
Wait. Sorry.
Oh.
Each to one of you or one to each of you?
One to each of you. You each have these little cards.
I was kind of wondering about that too.
Yeah.
What you meant.
Yeah,
Just needed clarity.
Each individual in Group D has been given one of these cards.
Okay.
Got it.
Okay. And he says, like, this is a requisitions card for the camp here. I want you to go over that stand over there, show them that card, and they'll be sure to give you all of the equipment that you might need. But then once you're all set, I do expect you to venture out there and find out what happened to our scouts. Is that understood?
Yes, sir.
Sure.
Yes, sir.
He kind of looks at Mistral for a moment and he just kind of like leans in a little closer like... Have you been drinking?
No, I don't drink. I don't drink.
I don't drink, that shit'll kill you.
Yeah. What they said.
Technically not a lie, so he just kind of leans back, but he still kind of gives you like a little like, I'm watching you.
You're like, I'm eating bread.
I'm eating bread.
Well, if you all understand, hop to it. Head over to the requisitions, show your passes, and they'll make sure you're well equipped. But once you have everything set up and organized, see me again. I'll be up in the North Watchtower waiting for you. And then he just turns around and he walks out and he walks away towards that watchtower.
Cool.
All right. So now that being said, Group D officially now has freedom of movement to walk around the camp. You can pretty much take your time to prepare, make sure all of your equipment is in order before you all decide to go speak to Tarek again.
Cool.
Now, you don't really need a perception check for anything for this. I'll just straight out tell you, because it should be common knowledge. Dallin Outpost is a very small camp. There's very few buildings. It's basically just a small fort on top of a rocky hill. There's the largest building, which is the main mead hall, which has been turned into like that giant audience center where he had like the speech and where you all got registered. There's a building that looks like it used to be a general store, but that became like the requisitions. And you already see like a lot of people lined up getting all of their gear and such. You also find another equally large building, and that is the barracks. That is where people basically have their cots to rest for the night. And then the only other building is a very small, like it's like a 3-person blacksmith. It's a small building, and already there's also a lot of people there, like making sure that they have all of their equipment as well. You all don't necessarily need to worry about that because you came with your weapons. You're one of the few recruits that essentially was already pre-prepared to an extent. So you don't necessarily have to worry about that if you want. But yeah, that being said, you all now have freedom of movement to walk around the camp. So, that being said, what do each and every one of you do?
Well, Mistral only smokes when she's going on long distance traveling. So now that, the travel's over with, and like at this point, like she's definitely not high anymore. Just wanted to put that out there. Yeah, Mistral just goes to go get some water, to splash on her face to really like get into the game at the moment. Yeah, clean out the pores. You gotta.
I want to go to the barracks to talk to anyone who might be there to see if they know anything about the area.
All right, so Mistral just kind of goes off and does her own thing.
I will be right back, guys.
Yeah, no problem. And Rolo. Polo, thank you. Sorry. Wait, hold on. I have your character sheet right here. Oh, yeah, it is Polo. Okay, so Polo, you decide to... Where are you going again?
I'm going to the barracks to talk to anybody who might know anything about the area we're supposed to investigate.
Okay, so we're going to focus on you right now. So does anyone want to go with Polo?
Sure, I'll follow him.
Okay, so Polo and Kevin, what is the name of your character again? Because I still don't have your character sheet.
Oh, I put it in the character sheet thingies.
Oh, you did?
Yep.
Oh.
Still not prepared, Evan. I'm kidding.
Don't test me.
I am God.
Bye.
You will know my name is the Lord, and I will lead.
Okay, so oh yeah, there's your character sheet right there. Thank you. Okay, so again, does anyone go with Polo?
Are you implying that I'm a nobody?
Oh.
Wait, so Sterling, you are going with Polo?
Yeah.
Okay, so then you go with Polo. So both of you are going into the barracks, and already this room is... Hold on, time out. Kevin, I can't seem to access your character sheet.
That's awkward.
You posted 2 links. There's the Mythweavers and the Google Docs. The Mythweavers has nothing written in.
That's extra awkward.
And the Google Docs requires a password.
Damn it. Alright. Give me 1 second.
It's okay. I just need to know your
Try
name.
that one.
Okay, hold on. Let me...
It's Sterling.
Well, this is going on.
There we go.
Evan, what's your name?
Bon appetit.
It's Sterling.
Sterling.
Yeah, it looks like I'm gonna be the main character for a little bit, so I guess anybody who wants to do anything.
Okay, so so Polo and Sterling, does anyone else, or is it just gonna be the 2 of you?
I think it's just them.
Okay, so Polo and Sterling, you both enter the barracks, and the barracks, it's pretty much what you would expect for a barracks of the Greyblades, which again, the Greyblades is the name of this hunting and warrior guild that basically makes up society's military. The barracks are about what you would expect. It's just one giant open space that completely fills this entire building, and it's just rows upon rows of large bunk beds. Already, there's quite a fair amount of new recruits here that are already, like, choosing which bunks they have. They're already unpacking stuff. Some of them are playing small games with each other. Some of them are just kind of sitting there, like, trying to get their nerves in order, realizing that they might just die, like, tonight or something like that. There's a lot of people there and a lot of different faces. So, what people do you see? Who are you going to approach?
Well, the first thing I'm going to do is announce to the entire room, what was the name of the area we're supposed to investigate?
The area itself doesn't have a name yet. Tarek didn't give it a name yet. But then again, you are meant to meet with him once you're done, like, prepping and such.
Okay, is there anybody in the room who looks like they might know something?
You do see a couple people who seem to have, well, actually, you know what? Give me a, let's see, hold on, let me, give me a perception check.
Okay. Come on. 9. Okay,
and, with your bonus, you have an 11. You can definitely see that out of all of the people here, you can tell just by their faces who are the noobs, who are the guys filled with ego, but then you see the people who look like they actually have some experience out there. The noobs are the ones that are either still full of emotion or they're completely, like, crapping their pants. The ones with the big egos are, like, talking loud, they're acting all macho. The ones that look a little more experienced are silent, and they're not really interacting with a lot of people. They're just making sure that they're prepared, and they're not even looking at anyone. So
they sound like my kind of people. Let's go see them.
All right. So now there's now these groups are not really segregated or anything. They're just kind of spotted all over. So do you just walk up to someone?
Yeah, let's walk up to the oldest looking one of the third group of people you described.
Okay, awesome. So you walk up and you see what looks like a half orc. And he's just kind of rummaging through his bag, making sure that he's got everything. So you're definitely walking up to him, but his back is turned to him. You want to grab his attention?
I tap his back.
And
I say, "You, orc."
Hold on, Polo. How tall are you?
I'm like 5'5". I think I put something like that.
Okay, so this guy towers over you. He's 6'2". He just kind of like slowly rears up, and then he just kind of looks down at you, and he's like, "What did you just call me?" And you can tell just by looking at him, he's not a full orc, he's a half orc. His skin is a much lighter shade between like a normal human skin and green, and his tusks are like not as pronounced as a normal orc's.
Yeah. All right, I say, all right, fine, half orc. I need to ask you something.
What is it?
I take out the map. I assume I have the map.
You all have maps.
Oh, okay. All right. Cool. All right. Then I show him my map specifically, and I'm like, "This area. Do you know anything about it?"
He just kind of like slowly leans in, kind of glances at you, looks at the map. He goes, "That spot's like anywhere else. You walk in there, you'll be most likely food for anything that comes your way."
I say, "All right. Enough of the vagaries. What do I have to look for in there?"
All I can say is, when you hear howling, bunch up.
Is there anyone you know in this room who could be more detailed?
At that moment, you hear a voice behind you going like, "I hear you're having some trouble here." And the voice is like below you.
Yeah. And I go, "Trouble? What trouble?"
Right behind you is a gnome. And like he... And he just...
No. You're upset you didn't come with me now, aren't you?
And he just kind of looks at you and he's like, "I take it you've never really been in this area of the woods, have you?"
I was in prison. Of course I haven't.
That definitely explains some things. Let me see your map.
Fine.
Okay, so he kind of plucks your map and he kind of looks at it for a moment, kind of looks at you, looks back at the map. He goes, "Okay." And he just kind of like turns it around so everyone can see it. And he's like, "You're gonna definitely want to avoid this northern part of the section here. It's been reported so far from the scouts that do survive, there's a whole den of wolves over there. And they're definitely one of the more ferocious of the bunch. Beyond that, not really much else. A couple monkeys that will definitely try to fling fruit at you. They're just as vicious, but honestly, they're not gonna do much."
Monkeys and wolves. Sorry. It's just... That's really funny.
This place isn't just a forest, it's more like a jungle.
Okay.
And he just says, like, "Honestly, just stay away from wolves, man. Monkeys, they'll attack you, but they're not gonna do much. Let's see here.
Any advice if we run into the wolves?
Yeah, honestly, what the big guy just said actually does hold a lot of water. Bunch up, look in all directions. Those wolves will definitely try to sneak behind you. That is definitely something you don't want to have happen."
He was much more cryptic. He was more like, "If there's a moon, there's darkness. If there's a sun, there's lightness." And then I'm like being all like, gesturing with it.
The guy was like a Kingdom Hearts FMV. Like, I couldn't understand what the hell he was saying.
And it's like, yeah, that's Drake. He always gets like that. Drake, you gotta really stop it. Come on, these people are noobs. They deserve some help. The half-orc just kind of... The half-orc just kind of goes like a... It goes back to rummaging through his pack. The little gnome just kind of rolls up his map and such. He goes like, "Listen, I heard rumors that your group is the one that's going to be sent out this evening. So look, You just gotta move slowly, move silently, and if you ever hear any noises, just stop what you're doing, look around. And he hands you back the map.
Alright. Any advice on weaponry?
You know, you don't really have to worry about that because he kind of sees that you're all pretty much well equipped and such. These animals are vicious, but beyond that, it's not like they're any tougher to kill. Just a good stab, shot in the head. Pretty much if you can land a good blow on them, they go down just about as well as any other animal. They're just a little more cunning now. So just watch out for that. And with that, the gnome just kind of like heel face turns, and then he just kind of walks back to his own bunk.
Evan.
Yes?
As whenever he says like, "Oh yeah, you guys look well equipped," I kind of like look down at myself and then realize that I seem very ill-equipped in comparison to everybody else. I'm literally just wearing like maybe a tunic and like some comfortable pants. No weapons whatsoever.
Go to the blacksmith.
Yeah, you have.
Oh, no, I'm fine. And then,
Where's the blacksmith?
I, like, rip off part of my tunic. I rip off like part of my tunic on either end, and I like wrap my hands with them and say, "I'll be okay. I'll be okay."
Yeah.
You didn't have to come with me, Sterling Archer, or whatever your name is.
Sterling the Fifth.
Sterling
There's
the
not
Fifth.
five of me. Just
Sterling Silver.
Sterling.
With a hedgehog.
Sterling.
All right, so
I think my scene is done.
okay, so your scene is done. Mistral, are you doing anything, or are you just pretty much just like doing your own thing right now still?
Well, I can say Davina's probably sitting by the fire sharpening her axe.
Okay. Is anything else gonna be happening over there, or are you just sitting by yourself?
Sitting sharpening my axe, maybe eating some dinner, you know? Trying to keep to myself as much as I can.
Getting ready to fight wolves and monkeys.
Okay,
I play solitaire.
actually, you know what, Carly, you do bring up a good point. I would actually say this is more lunchtime. It's closer to like 12:30 right now.
You made it sound like it was nighttime.
It's-
Okay.
I mean, you're gonna be like shoved out at nighttime.
A comfy spot to sit, and she's just sharpening her axe. Like if anybody tries to come by her, she's like, "Bitch, don't you fucking dare!" Because I'm not.
Well, Mistral is not phased by the intimidation that you have, and
Oh.
join you.
Okay.
You're chill.
You have the weed. Everyone automatically likes you.
Well, it's because Davina kind of likes her vibe. Like she's not she tries to keep to herself, and Mistral's just kind of like the chill being. So it's kind of like, you're fine. Just don't talk to me a lot.
Plus, you want to be friends with the dealer.
You have
100%.
Yeah.
But not friends enough that they start to talk about their family.
You must be a level 3 friend in order to unlock my tragic backstory.
you gotta pay for the DLC.
Right, shit.
No, but Davina just looks at Mistral and just gives her like a nod and just keeps sharpening her axe.
Anything else happening over there?
You want to say something?
Mistral is kind of just like going through her little like satchel bag that she has on her, that she's just like, what do I got in here? Puts her drum down to the side, kind of makes this clanging noise that like Davina kind of like stares at me for a moment. I'm just like, sorry.
Hey, don't tell anybody this, but can I play your drum?
I mean, be gentle. I just slide the drum in your general direction and just like look away while I continue to go through my satchel.
And then Davina starts to play like a really soft, like kind of just very almost angelic like melody.
Yeah. And then I'm trying to figure out what weapons I got that I could possibly have shoved in this bag. And I start asking you, like, where'd you get that axe?
It's a long story.
It's a long story? Okay.
There you go, nice axe.
Stuck together for a while. We'll be stuck together for a while. Wouldn't it be nice to like know stuff about each other?
Okay. Well, as you must know, when I escaped from the place it was before this, I took it.
Okay. Was it somebody else's before?
I mean, I took it, so I'd presume.
Well, I mean, you could have taken it, but it could have just been like in a shop or something.
Okay, I took it from the palace I was kept at before this.
Oh, okay. I've been to a palace before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
It was the White Castle.
So
Yeah,
tell me about yourself, Mistral.
I'm from a high place.
No
Yeah.
shit.
Like,
Right.
Are we talking about physically, or are we talking about
like
Emotion.
physically, it's really hard to get there. It's like this really like far away, like kind of. It feels really airy up there.
in the clouds?
I want to point out, we came here on an airship.
Yeah, that's how I was picked up because you guys stopped by my place. That's in the clouds.
Okay. I like your vibe. You can stay.
Our own personal Tom Bombadil, ladies and gentlemen.
No. And then Davina just goes, I like your vibe. You can stay.
Thanks. I didn't know I was looking for approval, but I appreciate it.
Oh man, I love you all.
God, I love her so much.
This is actually coming together pretty nice.
I'm loving this. Okay,
Yeah.
so
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
I just start shoving everything back into my bag, realizing it's pointless to go through everything and just deal with it later.
okay. Anything else happening with Davina and Mistral?
Nah.
No, I think we're doing good. We're vibing.
Okay, so it looks like the last pair we got here is Yip and Eden. What are you two gonna be doing?
I'm playing solitaire currently, just kind of waiting for a lot of people to start heading towards the tower. 'Cause I don't want to be alone. Like, if I'm being real with you guys, he's kind of mean.
He's
like-
making sure that
His vibe's kind of off.
sorry, he's making sure his longbow is like ready to go, just in case he needs to like snipe something.
All right. Anything else happening, or is that pretty much it for everyone?
I think that's it.
Uh-huh.
I
Okay,
got all the
so
info I need.
okay, so all of these activities just kind of last for a couple hours, let's say. Like it's still plenty light during the day. Like this is like the middle of spring, you could
I
say.
couldn't get that damn gnome to shut up!
Oh, he was just yakking your ear off.
Ugh, sounds like
Um,
my grandpa.
I was gonna say, hey God. So Eden hears Polo say that, and in Abyssal says, "You might want to be, or Infernal, you might want to be nice here. We're the outsiders compared to everyone else."
I'm always an outsider.
Ed.
Are you the bad boy of the group? You just stand like
No,
there with your back to everyone.
Now hold on. These two are tieflings. Does anyone else speak Infernal?
I do not.
I don't even remember.
It is in your character sheet.
Because I was
No, I
also
don't.
gonna.
Because, okay, these two are speaking Infernal, so not anyone else, the other four of you, you have zero idea what they're saying.
Oh man.
Sorry.
Hey,
Like
Evan, I'm gonna
commentary.
shoot you a message.
Oh, okay.
No, you can keep going. I'm just letting you know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I can only read or the languages I know are Common, Elvish, and Halfling, and Orc. But unfortunately,
Halflings have their
understand
own
what you're-
language.
yeah, okay.
The demons
Hey, bro?
are speaking demonic. No one knows what the fuck's going on.
It's kind of like Spanglish, but Halfling.
Yeah, to everyone else, the two tieflings, they're speaking what sounds like it's like a mixture of like Mordor and Klingon.
You are a mixture. Mordor and Klingon.
No one knows what we're talking about.
Okay, so all of you spend a couple hours kind of doing your own things, But after some time passes, one of the more ranked officers of the outpost, they kind of walk by you. Like, each of you kind of has your own officer that walks by you. And they each tell you, like, hey, did you drop by requisitions yet? It's almost time for you to have your assignment given to you.
Davina sighs and gets up and starts walking over that way.
Okay.
I follow Tina because I'm just like, well, she approved of me, so I guess I'll follow.
Yeah, and I wait for you. I'm like, come on.
And I'm the only one who actually did some research, so I guess I have to go.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
I see people start walking over, so I get up and pack my cards away.
Okay, so the line at requisitions has essentially like lightened up a little bit now because pretty much all of the other groups have gotten their gear. You guys are kind of the last one. There's like a couple more people before you, but they don't last long. So at requisitions, you see this one elf here who's just kind of like taking stock with his own like whatever the medieval version of like a clipboard is like. And he goes like,
Roll.
oh, I was wondering when you guys were gonna show up. All right, come on, let me see your cards. Okay, and he doesn't take the cards from you. He just kind of like looks at them, hands them back, looks at them, hands it back. All right.
I place Black Skull face down. And end my turn.
He just kind of the elf just kind of looks at Polo and goes like, dude, why are you so extra?
I've been in prison.
He looks at everyone's cards. He goes like, so you're the unlucky ones, huh? Yeah, my condolences. All right. He turns around, kind of looks over at various like shelves with a bunch of bags and such. And he grabs a whole bunch of bags and he gives them each to each of you. Now, this is something that I had to think of because I noticed that I'm being out of character right now. I've noticed that none of you are like healing classes.
Yeah, that's...
So
Bard not heal?
Hey,
yeah, Izzy, doesn't your bard have any healing abilities, or are you just like?
Oh, that's a good question, man.
Are you just a healer or a?
medical marijuana card?
Bard.
I mean, I can't heal, but I have... What is that called?
Lesser restoration is what you have, but that doesn't heal. That just cures status ailments.
That was actually me just being ignorant. I don't know if bards can actually do stuff like that. So.
Bards typically are like.
Getting my hopes up.
If you need, I can.
like,
Well, I don't want to really switch, but I would be willing to switch for the sake of the party, my characters. Because.
Can we bring the gnome?
Vanilla can heal.
Can the gnome heal us if we need him to?
But she can heal.
I took this
If you want to
into.
borrow one of my characters, I have a paladin.
I took this into account. I took this into account, everyone. There's no need to panic. It was just something I noticed.
Guys, calm down.
It's all copacetic, man.
You each get your bags, and they have some basic like survival essentials like knife, flint, tinder, rope. But also each bag, like each individual bag that you have, comes with 3 health potions each.
Oh, bomb. Alrighty.
Nice.
I'm adding that to my stuff right now.
Don't need a heal if you don't get hit. Quote of the evening.
Yeah. Izzy 2020.
Oh, that wasn't me. I was reading in the chat.
Oh, I didn't even know we had a chat.
Yeah, we have a general chat.
I'm so not used to using this server, so I apologize.
How dare you not be used to using
Okay,
the
I'm
server.
sorry. You know, it is what it is, right?
I wish I could edit
It
this.
is what it
What it
is.
is.
Hey, Evan, do you think you could write what we have in the general chat, just so I know?
Okay, yeah, give me just a moment.
Okay.
Okay, so
Because I can't edit my character sheet, so...
Okay, so yeah, rope, flint and tinder, hunting knife, and 3 health potions each. Each of you gets those things. It's not meant to be shared. You each get a sack that has these things.
Even Mistral has a knife?
Yeah.
Well, I came here with a dagger, so like, you want to fight me? Or
Well,
what?
now you have...
Mis-
Hunting knife.
Mistral, what have you got there? A knife! No!
Well, I mean, the tieflings can use their tail to
Yeah.
hunting knife, just stab it at everyone.
I mean, you never know. We might not need, we might need
You
it.
know, we may not. We may not even need to heal. You know, if you don't get hit, just dodge everything. Don't attack.
It
Don't
is
be fun.
entirely up to you guys how you want to play this, because like remember, each of you has all of these things. You each have rope. You each have a knife. You each have a way to make a fire. You each have 3 health potions, and you can share health potions.
Okay, alright, that is literally what I was about to ask. So, between the 6 of us, that gives... Hang on, what's 6 times 3?
You have
Eight.
You have 18 health potions in total.
Okay. Yeah.
And that might be going a little bit overboard, but again, this is my first time DMing. I actually want to make sure each of you live.
Yeah.
All,
If I die, I have 2 more characters I can use, so I'm fine.
I mean, if Eden dies, his twin's coming out for vengeance.
all right, so you each all have your requisition sacks. At that moment, the elf just kind of like looks at you, just kind of looks around for a moment. He goes like, "Hey, guys, it's been a while. You might want to go all speak to Tarek now. I hear he's still waiting for you up in the North Tower." And after that, he just kind of retreats back into the little hut that he works at.
Into the abyss.
Into the abyss.
Into the
Don't
Into
die
the
here.
woods.
Do that again and you get disadvantage.
That's the DM spirit.
There will be no... And you have disadvantage on your next roll.
Oh, come on!
There will be no frozen in this house.
There's
That's
no special treatment for girlfriends.
That's true.
I appreciate the equality.
It's the ones to fight the
It-
wolves.
In the words of the main character from Konosuba, I am a guy who strives for true gender equality.
Fair.
By the way, greatest anime ever.
It's
Um,
pretty good.
I've been reading the light novels. They're amazing. Okay, so I would say now that after everything that you guys have been doing, it's now like 3:30, 4 p.m. Like, you guys have had some time to like prep and get things together and such. So, but now it's basically encouraged that you go speak to Tarek. So is that what you're all gonna do?
Sure.
All right, awesome. So all of you march up to the North Tower, which is one of these 4 sentry points that stands high above the wooden walls of the fort. And when you get up there, you can actually get a very far, clear view of the surrounding jungle that is literally all around you. And you get to see again that this entire fort is built on top of a rocky hill. So you will get to see, so you're seeing like treetops and such. And Tarek is just kind of standing there with his back turned to you, but when he hears you all approach, he just kind of turns, kind of gives a bit of an approving nod, and goes like, "I was wondering when you all were gonna make it. All right, huddle up. This is what I have for you." He just kind of walks up
It's a
to
nice hors d'oeuvre platter. Sorry.
It's a nice what?
Hors d'oeuvre platter. I was making a joke.
Well, yeah, if you guys suck at your rolls, you will be an hors d'oeuvre platter.
Yeah.
All right. So then Tarek approaches each and one of you. He sees that you all have your requisition sacks and such, and he goes like, "All right, you guys look like you're ready. All right. So like I stated before, we've sent many scouts into a previously newly discovered zone of the jungle here. We don't really know what's there, but we do know that the animals that are close by that specific area seem to behave differently. Already, the local wildlife is way more aggressive, just like everything else in this blasted territory. But the ones near this spot, they
Wolves
behave...
and monkeys, right?
Oh, well, there's many more there, but the wolves and monkeys are just the ones that we've been able to actively observe. And he shows you, he kind of backs away and there's a telescope. And it's already kind of pre-aimed, so is anyone gonna look in the telescope? Alright, so Mistral, you walk up to this telescope and you actually look through. it takes a little bit of focusing on your part, but you actually do see what looks like old, really old stone ruins. And the telescope sees like there's an actual entrance into these ruins that go deep into the ground. And Tarek, kind of assuming that you're seeing what the telescope is already aimed at, he just kind of turns back to everyone and goes like, what you see there is this previously uncharted area. Now that being said, we actually have charted that area, but we've never been able to send anyone successfully inside. They either don't make it, or for some reason, it's very strange. It's like something is blocking them. It's like they simply just are not able to proceed. Almost like the jungle itself is trying to stop people. So that's what I'm here to have you investigate. When you're ready.
So we have attacking trees?
It's not really the trees. Like
What's happening?
That's actually a very good question. Like, it's not like the trees themselves are coming to life. We've had no reports of the flora becoming aggressive.
I was gonna say, it's almost like that movie Annihilation, which was fucking awesome.
Or the one, I think it was like the corn maze
With
or
Natalie
something.
Portman. Sorry.
Oh yeah, the cornfield. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, that one was.
And we're not allowed any more people in our party, considering the fact that 6 of us doesn't seem to be enough to be able to survive any of this.
Well, that's what I'm hoping that's why I'm hoping it doesn't come to that. All I need you to do is venture there, find out what happened, get out. That's all I need you to do. Don't go any further. That being said, though, I do expect you to proceed with caution. There's no real time limit to when you do need to come back, so discretion is going to be the priority here. You're all leaving in half an hour. Dismissed. And
I give a sarcastic salute.
with your left hand, no less.
Yeah.
I do like a weird, awkward bow and realize, why am I bowing? But and then just nod my head.
Tarek gives Polo like some stank eye, and he just kind of looks confused at Mistral before he kind of walks off.
Davina kind of sneers and just leaves.
Okay, so Davina has already walked off the platform. Do all of you follow her?
Yeah, I do.
I follow.
All right. Now, the moment that each of you finally exit the platform, one of the other officers of the camp goes like, "Ho, Group D, over here."
Yeah.
Yeah, we walk over.
Okay, so all of you walk over, and this is like just one of the gate guards, and he's just hiding, and he's holding a spear. He doesn't look as experienced as Tarek does, but he definitely looks like a guy who's seen his share of like combat and death and such. So he looks at all of you, and he just goes. He just kind of looks around for a moment, and goes like, "A little tip. Make sure your fires don't go out. These animals may be vicious, but they're still animals. Make sure to always have fire with you."
Okay.
All right.
And he looks at each one of you, and he goes, "Open the gate!" And then this whole group of men just start turning this crank, and the fort door just starts to slowly, like, here's the ground where you're all standing, here's the fort door, it's slowly opening this way.
Okay. Can I have an aside?
What do you mean?
Like, can I do something while this is going on real quick?
If you want to. I mean, the door's not going to take that long to open. It is a big door,
Okay.
but it's not like it's taken forever. But what's up?
Well, I face Yip, and I say, "Hey, bird boy, I want to talk to you about something.
Yes.
You can fly, right?
Yes.
That means you're going to be the best one of us who can scan the area. I want to make sure that when we get out to the area, you fly up, and you tell me anything you see up there."
Very well. Sounds like a good plan.
All right.
Ah, nice.
That was very smart, Liam.
That is very smart. Okay,
Very smart.
so we
You know
got.
what else is smart? Saving 15% or more by switching to Geico.
What?
There's D&D sponsored.
This
You-
campaign brought to you by...
This campaign brought to you by Blue Apron.
brought to you by Rage Shadow Legends.
No. Man, you know what the sucks? You know what the sucky thing is? That game actually looks kind of cool.
I mean, it does look cool, but I'm told it's awful.
Oh
Like,
yeah, it's like
Um,
you have to pay just to breathe. Microtransactions up the butt. All right,
I've
so
played a little bit of it, and it's pretty fun, but I haven't gotten that far.
all right. So at this moment, so after you've had your little private chat with well, does only you and Yip have this talk, or does everyone else hear this?
Yeah, I face him because nobody else needs to know this.
Hmm.
So.
All right then. So then, now that the gate is open, the standing guard there just goes like, "Good luck to you, and remember, open flame." And with that, he just kind of returns to his post. All right, guys, do you venture out of camp?
Yes.
Sure.
All right, you all venture out. Time for a music change.
Ooh. Very nice.
All
I
right.
love that.
All right, now you realize that the moment all 6 of you finally exit the camp, the fort door just is dropped back in place, and you guys are now officially locked out. This is a very thick jungle. It is dense. What was that?
I don't know.
Did someone's like phone go off?
Nope.
Not mine.
Not mine.
Interesting.
I turned mine on silent.
All right.
That was the sound of the door.
Oh yeah, that was the sound of the door. Okay, well.
I look over and I say, that is a health hazard right there.
I see like 20 health code violations with this place.
Yeah.
Violation.
Oh god, and Polo becomes the Dwight of the party.
Yes.
All right, so right now it is just the 6 of you. You all have your maps, and you all have a clear indication of where it is that you have to go. You all just start marching. And
Can I ask a question?
And I think.
yes, Davina.
Okay, is it dark out yet?
It is not dark out, though this is a very dense jungle, so it is like just nothing but shade. It is around 4 p.m. though, as best as you can tell, so the sun is already obviously making its descent, but you do still have light out right now.
Okay.
Alright, so you all just start marching, and you all have a very clear path thanks to the map on where you need to go. So you all are marching.
And I feel like that's my cue to kind of fly up and see if I notice anything.
All right, so you fly up into the air through the canopy of the tree. So right now you are just in open air right now. I would just like to point out, Polo is the only one who knows this. So as far as the rest of the party is concerned, Yip just ran away.
Yip did.
Where is Yip?
I mean, I feel like I should just tell them. What's going on.
It's up to you, man. This is how you want to
I'm
play.
gonna go to the corner store and get a pack of cigs.
I'll be back in an hour.
That's where you been.
Dad? Okay, so Yip, you fly up into the air, and you're scouting around. You say what?
Yeah.
Do we see this happen?
You saw him fly up, but once he broke through
Okay.
that canopy, he is out of view because the jungle trees are that dense.
Okay.
In Yip's case, however, I want you to give me a perception check.
All right.
While this is happening, I basically tell everybody, don't worry about it.
That is altogether a 20.
I'm actually looking at your character sheet right now. Where are your skills? Because this is a Mythweaver sheet.
Yeah, it's under the scores themselves. So, like, under strength, you have athletics.
Oh, I see him. Let's see.
Yeah, so
Perception.
I got a 17 on the die, plus 3 is 20.
Oh, there it is. Perception plus 3. Oh, okay. Okay, so 20. Now, you are pretty much, you can see quite a far distance because it is just like clear skies right now. Nice evening setting sun. Sun has yet to actually touch the horizon, so you still got pretty good light before it actually becomes nighttime. That being said, though, this is a really dense forest, so it's actually very difficult to tell what is like on the ground and such. The treetops block your view. And even though you did roll high, That is unfortunately all you can see, but it's like it's a conclusion with confidence. Now that being said, though, as you gaze more northwards, you can actually see a bit of a clearing, which does look like it's on the way to these ruins that Mistral saw in her telescope. So that might actually be a good little, for lack of a better phrase, checkpoint to end up at.
Okay.
All right. So are you going to try scouting a bit more? I'm sorry.
I just fly back down.
You fly back down? Okay.
Yeah, and kind of relay this information to the rest of the group.
All right. Do all of you agree to head towards that clearing area?
Well, Mistral interrupts everybody for a moment to say, since it's still light out, and before this adventure that we're on proceeds forward, I'm going to take advantage of this light and use that bush for a restroom. Real quick. Excuse me.
Oh, you're actually going to the bathroom. Okay.
Okay.
That was smooth. That was well played. Okay. Okay, so Mistral retreats to the bathroom, and this is gonna be fun. I want you all to make insight checks.
Oh, good lord.
Is that the 20, correct?
It's all. Whenever I ask you to do a check, it will always be the 20.
Okay, I'm sorry.
All right, since I'm not as familiar with 5e, this is the ability score plus the proficiency if you have it, right?
Let me take a look at your sheet. Sterling, insight. In your case, it would be whatever you roll with your d20 plus 4.
Okay. I thought I have a proficiency in I got it checked.
I think you do have proficiency. That's why it's plus 4 and not plus 2.
Oh, that's how that works?
Yeah, I think proficiency just adds an extra 2 points to your modifier.
Yeah, and it scales with levels.
Oh, that would be plus 6 then, because my wisdom modifier is 4.
No. If you did not have proficiency, then it would be plus 2.
I thought we were doing a dex thing.
No, it's an insight check.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
I said insight.
I got 14.
What the fuck I was thinking.
Okay, so you got 14.
I got 14.
17.
Also 14.
Eden, what did you get?
I got 15 because I'm -1.
Oh, and Sterling, what did you get? Sterling? Hello?
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Did you hear I got a 3?
I did, but I'm...
No, he's it. Yep. Okay.
what did you roll for your insight check?
Oh, I got 17.
17? Okay. Everyone except Davina realizes what Mistral is doing, so everyone else turns around to give her privacy, but Davina... But Davina, it takes you a moment to realize what she's actually doing.
I actually myself as a person, Carly, feel called out.
So everyone else promptly turns around. Davina's like,
Sometimes it takes me a minute.
what are you doing? Like, oh!
Oh.
And then you turn around. Yeah, by the way,
I snidely look over at Davina and say, "What are you good at, anyway?"
Ooh.
And I hear that from
You
the
just,
bushes,
I
and
look at him,
I try to go faster.
and I just
Cling-
stare at him, and my eyes turn black for 1 second.
All right. Well, whatever you're good at, we're probably going to need it soon.
all right. So Mistral, are you done? Are you done with your business?
I come back gracefully walking, saying that was the most uncomfortable restroom I've ever used. But that bush definitely looked like it was in the shape of a toilet, so...
You're like, and I've woken up in the back alley of a Wendy's.
It's like a really large pitcher plant.
Yeah, it's like, it was perfect, like a little cushion. It was great. But, don't worry, I have hand sanitizer in my bag, and we can keep moving.
God, not even I have hand sanitizer, and I'm in real life.
I didn't get hand sanitizer in my sack.
Okay,
It
so
was, it was in a hidden like little zipper, you know. They probably just forgot to take it out from the last journey, so.
all right. So with Mistral done with her business, you all continue to march through the jungle, down the path. Does anyone else mention anything while you're walking?
Uh,
I know I have like a lot of this planned though, but if you ever want to like bring in something about your character
Deval,
during
I have a question for you.
who are you talking to?
Who?
The barbarian.
Oh, Davina.
Oh.
Davina. I don't know what I said.
I look at it and I say yes.
Shelley Duvall.
And, Yip flips a gold coin in the air. Heads or tails?
Tails.
Tails? Okay. Heads. And he kind of just, you lose.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yip has he may be a monk, but he also has a slight gambling problem.
Oh.
Oh no.
Okay, so do you all continue marching?
I mean, I'd like to approach that, like if I see it.
Tell you what, Yip.
Yes?
If I kill something before you do, I get everything from your sack.
Oh.
And if you kill something before I do, vice versa.
I want in.
This is getting interesting.
All right, you know what? I'll allow it.
Yip extends a talon, a bird hand.
I'm shaking your feet. Yeah. Okay.
No, I extend my wing. And
Yeah, there we go.
Over there.
Well, I would just like to throw out Arakakwa. They do have hands, and their wings come out of their backs.
Yeah, no. I
okay.
extend my wing.
Flips up a foot and is like, alright.
Birds, man, they're weird.
Yeah. All right, so you all continue to march.
Yeah.
But
Hang on.
oh yes.
While walking, I go up to Davina and like, I kind of like study her for a bit. I'm like, you remind me of my sister.
Oh. I hope that's a compliment.
Oh, it is. It is for him. It's a compliment because he
Aw.
loves his sister so much.
Aww.
Well, then I accept your compliment. Thank you so much.
Friendship. All right.
Friendship.
All right. Does anyone? All right. If that will be all, you all continue to march, and it's very uneven, rough terrain. But it's not anything that you're not able to like get over and such. But after
Wait, I have a question.
Yes.
Do I see any are there any like small things of vegetation along the sides of the path?
It's pretty much just there's not really any like fruit or berry plants or anything. It's just like ferns and bushes and such, and then just tall tropical trees and such. Not necessarily palm trees, but more like what you would see in like an Amazon rainforest.
Can I want to go up to one of the ferns and take my spear and chop it off at the roots?
Okay.
Then I go up to him. I killed this fern. Give me your sack. You never said it had to be.
I kind of like politely put my hand up in the air and I said, technically, it's not dead. And then like excuse me, I point my finger at the fern that's in your hand and I cast Firebolt.
Okay, you know what? Roll to attack. See if you actually hit the fern.
You know what? I'm actually before I roll, I'm gonna use my my what is it called? Patron ability or something that allows me to take a roll that I rolled previously. I told you about it in the DM thing. So I roll 16 just naturally.
So would that be against my AC, or because like
He's not hitting you. He's hitting the plant.
right? So
And unfortunately,
Altogether, it'd be
and
20.
unfortunately, it's just a plant. If it had an AC, it is like 1.
Mistral looks at the fern and she's like, "Can I have that?"
For those that are curious, that's the ability I'm referring to.
I will say this, Kevin. I have your character sheet open right now. I don't see like any spells or anything.
It's in the Google Doc.
Oh.
Yeah, you should be able to open it now.
Okay, hold on. Let me get in there.
Anyways, side note, McLean just brought me cookies and milk.
Oh,
So I think I'm the one who's winning right now.
Ah.
Boyfriend also brought me food as well.
Yeah, there it is, Witch Bolt.
What have you done for me? No, I'm kidding.
I allow you to play. All right, so if if we're sticking with this, technically Kevin or Sterling won the first bet.
I think that's great.
Yip kind of nods, giving like, okay, fair enough. And he kind of takes the extra pack that he got and like presents it.
I kind of shrug and like wave it off, and I say, "No, I just wanted to win."
And I don't remember the agreement being we get both sacks.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. What you said?
I don't ever remember the agreement being that, like, of the 3 of us, the winner gets both sacks.
Like I said, I just wanted to win. You guys can keep your money.
Alright.
All right.
Let's make it that the first living thing, the first animal, the first thing that attacks us, we kill.
All right.
Can I still be part of this next bet?
Sure, fine.
Absolutely.
All right.
All right. Does anyone else in the party want to get in on the bet?
No, Miss Straw pulls out some cookies and milk and it's just watching.
We're getting on this anyway.
Yeah, Miss Straw's walking with like an actual china plate with cookies on it, and everyone is like, "Where the hell?"
Davina
It's almost as if she has.
over to her. I'm like, "Can I have a cookie?"
Oh, of course. Here, have some. Would you like to also have
The cookie.
Would you like to also have like a little espresso cup of milk with
Oh
your?
my god, I'd be honored.
She hands you the cookie and she's like, "You
Okay.
better be ready. In an hour, you're gonna see some shit."
Okay. Davina.
Can I just say one more thing? Davina takes the cup and just goes, "This is the first thing anybody's ever given me."
Oh.
Davina, don't be too excited because now here's the thing. I want you to roll a perception check.
God damn it.
You might get
Give me 1 second.
I spike
I
your
got
stuff.
8.
Let's
An
see if I
8?
spiked your stuff.
No, not that you've spiked her stuff, but unfortunately, because it was an 8, out of the whole plate of like chocolate chip cookies, you gave her the 1 oatmeal raisin.
Oh. Which had a lot of weed
I
in it.
don't think that she would know any better, so she still likes the cookie anyway.
Okay.
Also, I would like to find in. Oatmeal raisin's my favorite cookie, so I would gladly.
I mean, I just made chocolate chip cookies with oatmeal in them the other day, so.
And those are bomb.
I
I've
mean,
had those before.
All right. Sorry.
eat golden Oreos. So
Ooh, those are nice. All right. So, anyone else have any little tidbits, or do you continue marching?
We continue walking.
the
All right.
show goes on.
All right. The show does go on. You continue to march, but as you get a little further, you haven't quite made it to the clearing yet. But that's when you hear some rustling up ahead, and you just hear like a. And it actually sounds like there's more of them. So like, and it sounds like it's just a couple meters ahead, so you can hear it, but you don't quite see it yet. So what do you do?
So, first thing, I take the fern that I never said I threw away, and I kind of throw it on the ground and stamp it out.
Wait, what do you do?
I take the fern that was still on fire because I forgot to throw it first.
Yeah.
And I kind of stamp it out, and I would like
No,
to.
why would you do that? No, don't do that. We need that fire.
Is it dark out?
No, it's not dark out. The sun still has yet to actually touch the horizon. You haven't been out that long yet.
But if there's a monster coming, if we have that fire, we could probably, like, scare it away.
Now you guys do realize that whatever's making this noise, it is in your path. So like, what do you do?
I go back to that toilet bush.
And hide.
That toilet bush is like 10 feet away.
Yeah, it's a long ways back. You've been marching for a while.
I just keep walking.
You keep
I
walking?
like, hide behind
Yeah.
Davina, and I'm just like, hey girl, I'm just gonna stay right here.
Yep.
She just looks at you and she just pats your head.
Yeah, I'm a little elf that's just.
So, okay, question about the canopy of trees above. Is it like to where? Would it be like to where if somebody were like in the tree branches, they could like easily go from branch to branch, like through?
Oh yeah, this is
Yeah?
a very dense
Okay.
jungle.
Yip kind of says, "Wait, I have an idea. Fly. How tall are the trees? Like, would you say like 50, 100 feet?
Oh no, not that tall. I'd say like 30 to 45 feet.
All right. Yip flies up to the nearest tree, like just on the right of the path. Flies up to the top and takes the rope from the explorer's pack that I have. Takes the 50 feet of hemp rope and ties it to like a really secure branch and kind of lets it drop down to the ground. Climb up. We can just sneak above because that sounds like a wolf. We don't have to deal with it.
All right,
There's
awesome.
50 feet of rope.
That's
Well,
really
how are we gonna win the bet?
There's betting and then there's living.
Yeah.
Like,
I'd say the bet is off for now.
yeah, I'd say like let's wait until it's not seemingly a pack of wolves and like maybe like a mouse that attacks us.
All right,
betting
so
like that on
so do
something
each of
small.
you decide to climb the rope?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
Okay. I need athletics checks from each of you, except for Yip, because he can just fly.
Yeah, I'm up there. I'm waiting for y'all.
Hey, really quick. Before everybody rolls, excuse me. Who would probably be the least athletic here?
Mistral.
Mistral?
I
Is
guess.
that correct, Mistral?
I guess.
Wait, is Mistral the bard?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they have an 18 metagaming here. They have an 18 in strength, so I'm kind of picturing them as like secretly buff, like high and like, cause like metagaming
I
here.
have.
Actually,
it's like
I
that
just
picture
have
of
allergies, I promise you.
actually,
it's like a picture of Ralph where he's going, "Ah, you're in danger."
actually, looking at the sheets here, Sterling, you have the weakest athletics.
Yeah, I'm at a total of +1.
-1.
So that's actually what I just looked up. You get your proficiency bonus if you're proficient plus your modifier,
Yeah.
just for future notice.
Okay.
So +1 total.
+1 to roll. You do, out of just basic points, you do still have the weakest athletics. So,
Okay.
do you go first?
All right. I mean, yeah, that's fine.
All right, give me an athletics check.
Sure.
Do we all still do that?
We're looking at 12.
We're doing it one at a time.
Gotcha. Okay.
Okay, so Sterling, it takes you a little bit to get a good grip of the rope, but you do actually make your way successfully up to the tree branch. It just takes you a little bit longer than most. All right, so Sterling has made it up to the treetop successfully. Who's next?
I'll go.
All right, athletics check.
Okay, well, I already rolled. And I got an 18, and then I have my +2, so I got 20.
Okay, you are just like power climbing like in gym class. Like you're not even losing your leg. You're not even using your legs. It is all
I
arms.
look at Rolo, and I just stare at him, because I'm like, see? Good at this.
Okay, so Sterling got up there successfully. Davina got up there successfully. Who's next?
I'll go. I rolled a 13.
You rolled a 13. Okay, you're a little bit better at climbing up the rope than Sterling was. Still a bit rough with you, but you do make it up there successfully. Who's next?
Okay, I guess I'll go. So
All right.
I'm rolling a d20, correct?
You're rolling. Okay, whenever I ask you to do a check of any kind,
Yep.
it will always be a d20. And in
Just
this
making
case,
sure.
you are rolling athletics.
Okay. Well, I rolled a 15.
Okay, so and your modifier is +4. So that is a 19. So even though you are high off your balls right now,
And
you
also holding the plate of cookies, one-handed, but
Yeah, by the way, you see the cookies up there, and that's when the munchies hit you. So you're just like, give those to me!
I will be right back. I have to go to the toilet first.
No problem. You're already up there.
You're a bird. You can do it anywhere.
Yeah, you go fly back however far back that toilet bush was.
Okay, so all that's left is Eden. So I need an athletics check from you.
16.
16. All right. So nothing really remarkable, but you do get up there successfully. So it's awesome. All of you have triumphed.
Woohoo!
Oh my god, thank god.
I look at Eden and I just high five him.
I high five her with my tail, because I'm like, yeah! Tree.
All right, so all of you are, well, we'll just wait for a moment for Yip to come back. But yeah, all of you have successfully made it. Awesome job. While we're waiting on Yip, just a couple things to reiterate about the game itself. In this type of game, we are not going to be playing with experience points. At certain milestones, you will just automatically level up if we ever come to those times. If we do decide to make this more of an ongoing long-term thing, which is again entirely up to you guys.
I'm having blast.
Can I look in the direction of the growling and like do a roll to see if I can like scan them for anything we might need to know?
Yes, you can do a perception check.
Okay.
And I would actually say you have advantage with this perception check because you're at a high enough spot where you can actually see a pretty good distance.
Right.
And
okay.
So again, when rolling advantage, you roll your d20 twice, and the higher number is what you have.
Okay. All right. So do it twice and tell you which one was the higher number.
Yes. So roll the d20 for a perception.
Okay. The first one was 16, and the second one was 11, so 16.
16, and you have a +2 to your perception, so that's 18. So from where you're standing right now, and if you look hard enough, you actually do see some patches of white through all of the green. And you actually what looks like, at the very least, 2 wolves. And they are just openly, like, they're ravaging something right now. You can't quite tell what it is that they're just munching on, but they are ravenous, and they are just going to town on this thing. However, because you've rolled so high, you actually can see, just like what Yip pointed out, that you can actually go from branch to branch, and you can try to bypass this.
Okay.
So, that being said, though, do you guys decide to try to bypass the wolves stealthily, or do you want to try and take them out?
Nobody needs to fight for their lives here. I say we get to the spot and check it out.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Alrighty, so you've already made athletics checks to get up to the trees, and again, the branches are very dense, so it doesn't really require rolling to go from branch to branch. That being said, though, now I'm going to need stealth checks from each of you.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh, yeah!
Is there anybody that's the least stealthiest?
Well, everyone just kind of rolled together, but, Davina, what did you roll?
Got a 3. And then
Well, so, okay, the reason I was going to say that is, Davina, I can give you a 17 on your roll.
Oh,
What?
yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
so,
that ability is
Davina,
so
what's
good.
your dexterity modifier?
Give me 1 second.
It's-
My
it's-
dexterity modifier.
It's +2.
+2.
Okay, so I'm supposed to do it before she rolls, or before the outcome is determined. But will you allow this, Evan, for me to give her the 17?
Just this once I will allow it, but the next time something like that... But the next time this happens, we are going to have to go with what the dice say.
Okay.
But just this once I will allow it.
All right. We'll have to figure out a system.
Watch yourself,
and stuff
McCoy.
like
Now,
this, since I have that system.
Now that being said, though, so you had a low roll, but he's helping you out with his special skill here. What did each of you also roll? Because I never got scores from all the others.
I got an 18.
18.
22.
I got a 21.
21.
Oh, shoot, should I be doing a +2 with mine?
No.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
No? No?
No, yes, because it's a stealth check. Stealth is dexterity.
Okay, so I got a 20.
You got
I
a 20.
Okay.
Mistral, what did you roll?
Is
You're muted.
You're muted.
Muted. We can't hear you.
I
Ha 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 ha! I got a 15 plus 2. Or, wait, we're doing stealth, right?
Stealth,
Yes.
yes.
Yes, plus 2. So that's
17.
17. I can do math.
All right, awesome.
feel you.
So, all right, awesome. So each of you have been able to make your way silently across the tree branches, and you just start to go
No,
around.
some of us needed help, I just want to say.
Why are you
You're just shaking his head.
Now that being the case, though, you do start to see, as you're slowly walking past these wolves, you actually do start to get a better view of them. There's two of them. Their fur is like brown, and it's like white on the underbelly. And they are just, again, going to town on what looks like a dead scout. And this scout, like, this must be, it doesn't look like this is where they killed the scout because there's no blood splatters everywhere. It looks like the scout was already killed, like, far enough away, and they just were able to drag it here. And now these two wolves are just eating it. Do you still want to bypass them, or do you want to try to look at them a little bit more?
I grabbed Davina because I happen to be following. Oh my god. I happen to be following right behind her and kind of bury my head behind her body so I don't have to look at it.
Aww.
I just look at her and I just say, just keep moving.
What
Like
have
I
you...
said before, none of us have to fight for our lives right now, so we might as well just keep going.
All right.
I just want to say, can I do an aside really quickly?
What?
I pull Mistral to the side and I say, it is okay. I will protect you.
From all around you. I
Aww.
will be here, don't you cry.
Yip kind of says, "Oh, I'll catch up. You guys keep going. I'll catch up." He flies back to the rope and.
Ah, yeah.
I don't want to leave my rope. That's good rope.
That is very good rope. Okay,
Never go
so
no rope.
so you grab the rope, you fly back. I need you to make an acrobatics check.
Ooh.
Because you're basically now landing back on a branch with your full weight.
All right.
I'm just waiting for Mistral to smoke a rope.
The rope is made of hemp.
Yeah, it's made of hemp.
The floor is made of lava. The rope
Hey.
is made of hemp.
The straw only smokes to calm her nerves on long trips.
I mean, in
I got
theory,
an
this is a
18.
long trip.
You got an
Yes,
18?
but I'm continuously moving.
That's with the mod.
Okay, awesome. So yeah, you daintily land back on the branch. You don't really make any noise. A couple leaves do fall, but the wolves don't seem to notice that at all. They are too engrossed in whatever meal that you're doing. Now, you slowly make your way across the branches still. And the way the branches are, it's like, here's the wolves right here on the ground. The branches just kind of like circle around, and then they just kind of go this way. So you get to see like the back of the wolves, like the side of the wolves. And then once you finally meet the end of that half circle, you get a clear view of the faces of the wolves. And this is when you notice something strange. These wolves, while their overall size and shape remains relatively unchanged, you notice that the eyes of these wolves are just pure white. There is no iris, there is no pupil. They are just pure white, and it looks like that there are tear stains of black tar coming out of their eyes right now. And they are just...
Lovecraftian horror.
Yes, Davina.
Can I do an Arcana check?
You can certainly try.
A what check?
An Arcana check. And
Oh, okay.
Arcana is when you want to try and decipher if there's like magic in the immediate area.
I got a 15 plus my modifier, which is 2, so that's 17.
Okay, so you are confident in your ability that if there is any magic, you can definitely sense what is going on. That being said, though, you are also very confident that whatever has happened to these wolves, it is not magic. It is something else.
Ooh.
Now that being
So
said,
we all know about the wolves at this point.
yeah, all of you have gotten a clear view of the faces of the wolves. You see the white eyes.
Okay.
You see the tears of black tar. And these wolves luckily still have not seen you. Their eyes are downward at their meal, so they don't see you. They're making way too much noise to even hear you, and they got like fresh meat and blood right in their noses, so they don't even smell you right now. So you guys have very lucked out.
I snarl and say, why couldn't the gnome have told me about this?
I look at him and I just say maybe he didn't know.
Yeah.
Maybe he
Honestly, you
didn't
just never
know.
trust gnomes.
Never
Maybe-
trust gnomes.
Did you just say maybe he didn't gnome?
Maybe
I said maybe he didn't know.
Oh my god.
he was no Sherlock Gnomes.
I can say that maybe he didn't know.
Okay, so now you make your way more across the tree branches, and you go a little bit further until you're out of sight of these wolves. You're pretty confident that you're far away enough from them now, and you can actually see that clearing you scouted, that Yip saw, in plain view. However, it's a clearing, so there's no trees around here. So do you guys want to stay in the treetops, or do you want to make your way back down to the ground?
I think we should make our way back down to the ground.
Okay, so...
Rope.
Rope again?
Oh, want me to rope again?
Rope again.
I just jump down.
Okay, so, Polo, I need you to give me an acrobatics check.
Alright. An 8. Plus 2? Do I do that with plus 2?
Yes.
Okay, so a 10.
Okay, so 10. That snarling you hear back in the distance with those two wolves stops.
Oh, shit.
And for those of you that are still in the treetops, you can still kind of see the wolves in the distance, and you just see them like slowly stop their meal and look up.
Before they even move, I cast Thaumaturgy and like throw my voice like 5 feet behind them.
Oh! Okay, hold on. Putting the pause on this for a moment, let me actually look at your spells here. Thaumaturgy. You manifest a minor wonder, a sign of supernatural power within range. You create one of the following magical effects within range. Your voice booms up to 3 times as loud as normal for one... Alright, awesome. And
That's what I get for trying to be the smartass of the group.
Alright, so since that is a spell, you just succeed with that one. So the moment that voice sounds like just in the brush, the wolves just like, huh! And then both of them just go running towards that voice.
I did that.
Nice.
How do I?
So,
Okay,
So-
everybody else, I'm putting this rope down. Don't do that. And Yip ties the rope to the branch.
Literally, as he's talking, as he's like,
Stops and says show off.
as he's like tying the rope and he's saying that, I just kind of like hop down.
Damn it.
Well, now that they're distracted.
okay, I need you to give me an acrobatics check then.
We're looking at 17.
17. Alright, that is like a 5-point landing right on your feet, and you just kind of bounce. And it was like a nice soft patch of dirt, so you don't really make any noise. So right now, Yip is on the ground, Polo's on the ground, Sterling's on the ground. There's 3 left.
I finally make my way.
Anyone else want to be
I just
done?
climb down. I don't do anything fancy. I just climb.
Climb down.
Alright, you guys just normally climb down, so you don't need to roll.
Yep.
Meanwhile, Davida just looks smugly at me.
Yep. And I'm just like, bitch. No, I don't say that.
You say it with your eyes.
Uh-huh.
Alright, so Davina's on the ground. Mistral, do you make your way?
I'm gonna pull, we're gonna pull a Mistral moment.
Oh no.
And
Oh
see
no.
that there's sees that most of the group is on the floor already, and just goes, you know what? She just screams, "Catch me!" and then jumps.
And Davina just is like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god.
Do we have to roll to see who catches her?
And her,
Yeah.
and she has this she's been traveling with this long skirt, so it's almost as if she looks like she's like an angel falling
You're
down.
Princess Peaching down? Is that what you're doing?
Yeah, but unfortunately, by screaming, Mistral, I need you to do another stealth check.
Yeah, why did you scream?
Why did you scream?
What? Yeah, I just did the thing and then you fucked it up.
What kind of pot smoker screams?
One that likes to be catched and wanted to make sure that her friends heard her.
Eden turns around immediately to see if those wolves are coming back.
Okay.
Well,
And I turn with Eden.
And I do too.
yeah, Mistral,
Who's gonna catch her?
A stealth check, correct?
a stealth check.
Right now.
Great. Well, I rolled an 18 and
You're gonna
got
scream stealth.
Nice.
+2 is 20.
Okay. Okay, so yeah, you stage whisper, "Catch me," and it's luckily
Okay,
quieted
so
enough.
I guess we don't have to turn around then.
No.
Well, hold on, we're not done because now Davina, I need you to do a strength check because you're catching her.
All right. Well, what do I have to roll for that?
Just strength, just your basic strength.
Okay. I got a 5, and then my strength modifier is 2, so that's 7.
Okay, so you are able to catch Mistral, but you are unprepared for how heavy she is, and
It's all those cookies.
it's all those cookies and weed. And then you unfortunately just land right on your ass, like just hard.
Okay. Can I also have it that my cape falls off, and you guys can see that I have feathers sprouting from my shoulders, and I covered
Touch one
up
of the
really
feathers.
instantly?
I touched the feather.
No, you don't. Or okay, you can try, and I immediately grab
Yeah.
your gun.
Yeah. And I'm just like, oh, that was a bad idea. Never mind. Thank you for catching me. I'm gonna go over there now.
I grab Mistral by the ear and I say, "You need to be more careful."
Hey! That's my ear.
So that brings up a question that I sent you, Evan. So.
Oh, yes?
Yes. So pretty much with Eden's background, the fact that his sister is another unnormal being, would he know that language or no?
Wait, I'm sorry, say that again?
So, it's in your message, but pretty much with his background, with his sister being an Asmar, would he know that language since they grew up together?
You know what? I would say in this case, give me a nature check.
Oh,
But
mother.
because you do have that past experience, you get advantage. Actually, wait, hold on.
I have a +0 for it, so.
Actually, hold on. Instead of nature, make it a history check. Because this is something that happened in the past with you. Still 0? Okay.
Yeah, so that's a 12.
12.
And that's a 16.
Okay, so 16. So you do recognize that Davina has all the traits of an Aasimar. Now, that being said, though, do you actually want to, like, say anything about it? Or are you just going to let this
I
one
keep it
go?
in mind, and I like, okay, she's got it. I'll talk to her later.
Okay.
Can I look at Eden and ask her what she's thinking?
You can if you want.
Okay.
Eden's a boy.
Or he, sorry.
Nothing, just making sure everyone's okay.
Okay.
I look at Eden and tell him you know something, and then I just walk away.
All right, so all of you successfully made your way back down to the ground. Yip, be sure to untie the rope.
Yes. Dead rope.
Yip,
Not the pot rope.
Rope.
Yip, I'm addressing you.
Did they
Yep, wake up.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Where were you?
You were
Dimension 5.
far away. It's okay, we've all been there.
Okay, so
Sorry, I was missed for a sec.
okay, so Yip, remember you gotta untie the rope.
You're the only one
Yes.
that can fly.
You're the only one who can fly
Cover
here.
up and untie the rope.
Okay, you untie the rope, and you all find yourselves at the edge of this clearing. There's really nothing spectacular about it. Just some patches of dirt and grass and such. There's really no trees. You got a very nice clear view of the sky itself. And that's when you can actually start to see that the sun is now halfway past the horizon. So it is now just about going to be nighttime soon. So that being the case, though, do you guys want to keep going, or do you want to try setting up camp?
I'd say set up camp.
Okay, that's
So
one.
where are we at? Sorry?
I'm sorry?
But like, you said we're at a clearing or something?
You're in a clearing right now, but you haven't made it to that place where the cave is yet. You're like you're like a little past halfway right now.
Then I'll agree to set up camp.
Set up camp?
Can we
Yeah.
set up camp in the trees?
Not in a clearing.
There are no. Well, you.
But like, what?
Well, what were you gonna say?
Well, like, there's a clearing, but obviously there was something for the clearing, so surrounding the clearing has to be trees, right?
Yes,
Oh,
you
I know
just.
what you mean. She's asking, like, if we move from the clearing, like, back a bit into the tree area, like, fine.
No, I think we should set up in the clearing. That way nothing can sneak up on us.
That's a good point. And I'll take first watch.
All right.
Oh, we're watching?
I feel like we should do it in twos.
Mistral's like, I don't want to have to work.
Yeah, I feel like we should do it in twos, just so that way.
Twos.
Okay, who wants to do a watch with me?
I'll go.
Okay.
Okay, Ian.
Oh,
Ian's
I saw
like,
Eden's hands first.
Yeah.
Eden
I think it would be funny if Polo and Davina actually have a scene together.
We can do
So.
that. That would be kind of fun. But I kind of want to do this with Eden.
Okay. Alright, fine. Yeah, that's fine.
All right. So you all set up camp?
Yep.
All right. Awesome. So the time it takes for you to finally set camp, the sun has now completely set past the horizon, and stars now finally start to poke through the night sky. Now,
Little sandwiches. Sorry.
Now, with the coming of night, it seems like the jungle has taken on a completely different aura around all of you. Things do seem to be a little bit more lively. Now, that being the case, though, I know this is going to get annoying, but trust me, I do have reasons for all of this. Now I need you all to make nature checks.
Nature check?
What?
Nature checks.
Okay,
Oh,
yeah, that's cut out for me.
Alright.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
what I assume.
Nature check.
Shit.
Okay.
Do we get a +2 on this?
Hold on, let me take a look at you. Nature. Yes, you do get actually, you get a +3.
Oh, well, I still have a 7.
Okay, so 7.
I
I got
have.
a 6. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
No. Okay, I got a 6.
You got a 6? Okay.
I got a 9. I got a 13.
13. 2.
Or
6.
7. I got a 7.
Okay, and Sterling?
20.
20. Oh, okay, so everyone except Sterling and Mistral, you're just setting up camp. Like this just feels like a forest for you. You're just setting up camp. But for Mistral and Sterling, you both have now this just, I wouldn't say overwhelming, but you do feel it all around you. Just this all surrounding feeling that you are not supposed to be here. And when I say that, I don't mean like just in this clearing, but just in this jungle in general. Like you are just unwelcome.
Mistral's just feeling the paranoia right now. That's all.
Did you hear
I'm
that?
sure at this point I am not high anymore.
I think the FBI is watching us, man.
Did you hear that? There are people talking through the walls, man.
Yeah, the walls in this
The
clearing.
walls in the clearing. Yeah, exactly.
The heart in the floors, it keeps beating. Edgar Allan Poe.
Meanwhile, again, all of you who rolled in double digits, you all basically are like, you're fine. You don't. Oh, all of you who rolled low, I mean single digits.
Yeah, I was gonna say I didn't roll in double digits.
Yeah, sorry, I had it backwards. All of you, you're fine. You don't really get a sense of anything. You're just setting up camp. You got your sleeping bags. You're resting for the night.
Can I notice that Sterling and Mistral look worried?
You certainly can. You don't even need to roll for that because they're literally just right there.
Can I go and ask them what they're thinking?
Okay, for something like that, you don't need to ask me. Just walk up to them.
No, okay. Well, I didn't know because I was like, I didn't know if I had to be setting up camp, like, to be like.
Camp is already set up.
Okay, so I go over to Mistral and Sterling and ask them what's wrong.
I turn around and it's clear that I'm smoking, even though Mistral.
Mistral.
What is it? Mistral. Isn't at this point. It's like, I don't know, man. It feels like we're not supposed to be here. But you know, are we supposed to really be anywhere?
Oh no! Was that a red versus blue reference?
You don't get.
It's
You're
very
not allowed
possible.
to ask those questions because you've never watched it.
You're funny.
I just turn around and I'm like, we're gonna die. We're all gonna die. We're all gonna die.
And thus we have now the rat trap of the party.
Yeah.
So during this, is it me and Eden are watching?
Yeah. Oh, so Davina and Eden are taking first watch?
Yeah, we did agree on that.
Okay.
We did too.
So.
Okay, awesome. So, yeah, everyone else has fallen asleep. It is now the dead of night. Nothing really seems to happen. It just seems to be a normal night. You hear just like the local wildlife and such. You don't really get the sense that anything is happening. A couple hours pass. It is now time for the next watch. Who's going to take this one?
Wait. Kara wanted to ask some questions.
Oh, yes?
We're gonna have this conversation.
Oh, sorry, I didn't see it. Okay, yeah, you two talk.
And
Scene.
While this is going on, he turns to her and, in kind of broken Celestial, he asks, "Are you an Asmar?" Really horribly, but kind of like, okay.
I chuckle.
Okay,
and I answer
wait,
back.
hold on. I'm sorry because I have to make this funny here. Okay, so in order for you to do that, I need you to make a performance check.
Okay, I get a 2 with that, because yay, being a tiefling.
Did you get a 2?
I get 2. No, I got, so 12, 14. No, 13.
Okay, so
No, 14 was right.
So it does take you some effort, but you are able to string together just the simple sentence R ellipsis U ellipsis Asimar question mark.
Eden is the Squall Leonhardt of
Yeah, it's squall speak.
yeah.
Then a chuckle.
You're the best looking guy here.
I answer back in Celestial.
Celestial.
I can
Yes.
talk, I swear.
Molestia. No.
And I say yes, but let's keep it to ourselves.
He nods. Goes
Am
back.
I allowed to like roll to overhear that?
Well, you wouldn't be able to
you're
tell because we're speaking in a different
you
language.
can't in this case because you are just
Oh, okay.
asleep. You're just asleep right now. So right
Okay,
now.
that's fine. That's fine. Whatever. Yeah.
He switches to common because he knows he's horrible at Celestial. That's why you remind me of my sister.
Your sister was a Celestial. I'm sorry, your sister was an Asimar.
Yeah,
Did you have different parents?
we have different dads. Same mom.
So you're half Asimar?
No. So he sighs and like just looks at looks at the ground because he's hasn't had to comment on his background before. So mom had an affair with an angel.
Oh.
She loved. And then dad, my father.
That's my favorite Disney Channel original movie. Mom had an affair with an angel.
That's like a title from like late 90s, early 2000s.
My father, however, was not as kind as my sisters. We'll put it that way.
Well, we were all raised by questionable people, I think, and I take off my robe to reveal scars that almost look like slashes on my back.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Seems getting spicy.
My
Oh
mother,
no, not really.
no, nothing like that. My mother treated me like that. Phoenix was the favorite. You know, the story of how Asmars are treated.
I was raised as an item, so I totally get that. But we're here now.
Now, as you are talking, and this goes directly to Eden, as well as for like any of you here, this kind of society does treat folk that live like basically the higher you live, and I mean that physically, not like bodily. The higher you live or can live, the more well regarded you are, because basically the further away you are from the ground, like the safer you are. That's like just the common consensus of this world. And Aasimars, being that they are a winged race, it's really feast or famine with Aasimars. They are either living in the lap of luxury, or they are just like achievement items to be had by people that like to own other people.
Also, the fact that I don't have wings and I just have feathers made me my character kind of a not that sought after.
Kind of I need this, but I'm not going to do anything with it.
But I'm like, Davina was the silver medal.
So Eden, you...
Of course she was.
So Eden, you just kind of naturally put two and two together that her being an item for probably some higher ranking noble, just because she was an Aasimar, unfortunately does make sense in the society of today.
Yeah.
Like, you just kind of understand that.
Yeah.
Guys, we live in a society.
We live in a society.
And then I just look at her and I say, but we're all here now, and I'm amongst better people. So.
All right. So, you had your nice little talk here, but now it's time for the next watch. Who are the next two people going to take watch here?
I guess I'll be one of them.
Okay, so it looks like both Yip and Polo.
I'll do that. Okay.
All right, so Davina and Eden take their spots, and now it's Polo and Yip's turn.
Okay. See, my character is almost solely focused on the mission, so I'm trying to figure out what he would do in this situation.
Yip kinda... I assume they kind of have set up, like, a small place for them to, like, maybe they found a log or something. And maybe they, since it's a camp, they have kind of, and the tip of, like, always have a fire on you. They have the fire going. Yip kind of takes out a small box and kind of opens up the top and kind of shows it. It's like, cigarette?
What? What was the last part?
He's offering you a cigarette.
I don't smoke.
And kind of lights it in the campfire and begins smoking.
Okay, now, Polo. Since you are the only one... Oh, where'd Eden...
Yeah, I don't know what she's doing either.
Okay. No, I was asking, like, where's Eden?
Oh, I thought you were talking to me. I was like, I'm sorry. I had the song stuck in my head. I had to get it out. That's my bad.
Okay, so, Polo. Since you are the one who's, like, focused right now, I need you to do me a perception check.
Okay. Come on. +2, right?
Let's see, perception, yeah, it's +2.
Okay, so 13.
13, alright. There is silence around you so far, but then you can kind of hear at the edge of the clearing, shh, shh.
Oh my god, it's Jason Voorhees!
You beat me by 1 second.
Okay, and so yeah, they're right at, you can actually hear and see right at the edge of the clearing what looks like, oh, Eden, glad of you to join us.
Sorry, bathroom.
You're fine.
It's okay, I danced because I had the song stuck in my head. I just had to get it out.
So, Polo, you hear this noise and it's like right at the edge of the clearing. Now, and by the way, hold on, let me backtrack, guys, here. When you set up camp, are you like right in the middle of the clearing?
I've assumed we were.
Okay.
Because that seems like the safest place to do it.
Okay, awesome. So now that you have officially heard the noise, you turn towards it and you see two pairs of glowing white eyes looking right back at you. And then coming slowly into the firelight is those two wolves. While they did get distracted by that noise, they could smell the smoke of the fire. And they just start and they just start like inching closer to you. And they're not getting closer, like not that much closer, because of that fire does seem to keep them at bay. But they are like, they know you're there. They are looking right at you. And
So
the
they're
moment,
kind of like, sorry. So they're like, say the fire's here, so they're like on the outskirts of where the light is.
they're right at the edge of the clearing, so you can clearly see them right now. I would say more, they're like 15, 20 feet away from you right now. But the problem is, they see you. They know you're there. And
Okay.
So right now, that fire might be the only thing that is keeping them at bay. That being said, though, they might start to get a little bold and still try to attack you. So you have a moment right here to do something before they actually try to attack. And right now, and it's not just you, Yip sees this as well. However, everyone else is still asleep. So what do the two of you do?
I almost want to wake everyone up to get packed while we hold them off.
Okay, so you're gonna try and fend off the wolves?
Yeah, but I'm also thinking there's probably more coming. Which is why I kind of want everybody to get packed and run while we're holding them off.
Okay,
Right,
okay, are you sure you want to do that? Because if you decide to move, you're gonna be moving away from that fire.
Yeah, that's a bad idea.
So
yeah, I would just say we all do it together.
all right then. I would like you all to roll initiative.
Oh boy.
Even sleeping is strong.
Okay.
So, I
Plus
add
2?
whatever I roll, right? With initiative?
Yeah, initiative, you all should have, like, initiative bonuses.
Dexterity.
Yeah, it's your dexterity.
Yeah.
All right.
16.
Okay, hold on, give me just a moment. I got
My
to,
Dexterity. Oh, I have nothing! Oh, brilliant.
Oh no. So
Wait.
you're-
okay, hold on. So, I gotta write this down here. Okay, so, sorry, I'm writing down initiative scores here. So I'm just gonna go down the line. Davina, what did you roll?
I got a 16.
Davina,
So I got a
16.
14 plus my 2.
Okay, Davina is a 16. Mistral, what did you roll?
10 plus 11.
Mistral, 11.
What is a bard gonna do?
Polo, what did you roll?
Every time you say that, are you trying to offend me?
I rolled a 7 because I don't have any plus dexterity.
Okay, so you rolled a 7. Sterling, what did you roll?
19.
Sterling rolls a 19.
Damn! Good job.
All right, awesome. Yip, what did you roll?
15.
Okay, Yip has a 15. And then lastly, hold on. And then lastly, Eden, what did you roll?
I think I got a 10.
Eden
Yay,
got
dyslexic.
Eden got a 10. All right. Hold on, let me just write down these orders here.
But for a reminder for Polo, we do have Hellish Rebuke, so we can just go bam fire. So
Okay.
we do have minor spells, just not like a whole bunch of spells. Thankfully, being the same class and race.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. My initiative order got mixed up here. I got to figure out a best list taking. Okay, there we go. All right. So hold on. Give me just a moment. Changing music.
Fight time.
All right. It is fight time. One of the wolves walks up to you, and the first wolf goes first because it rolled a 20. That wolf, and it's just, you get a very clear view of it, and it is just horrifying to look at. Just pure white eyes, black tear stains just going down its face, and it looks rabid. So this wolf is going to attack Yip because it looks like just a giant chicken right now.
Kill the chocobo.
Yeah, kill the chocobo.
Don't kill the chocobo.
Yip kind of like, as he sees the wolf coming at, kind of just grabs his spear and preps.
Okay, so hold on. So the wolf attacks Yip, and Yip dodges just right out of the way. So the wolf misses. Next is Sterling's turn.
Am I still like in the tent right now, or what's up?
You're like battle ready because you've taken initiative. This is not a surprise attack because Polo was able to see them in time.
Okay. All right. Saying that, who's the guy that got attacked? Birdman, right?
Yeah, it was
Yep.
Okay. So I'm gonna quickly like come up from the side of him, and I'm going to attack the wolf, trying to like fend him off.
Okay, so you are attacking the wolf. All right.
We are looking at 14 for the first hit.
Okay, so the first one does hit. So roll damage.
All right. Do you mind if I roll for the second hit first?
Roll damage for the first hit because that one did connect first.
Okay. 1 second. I just lost my defense. We're looking at 8 points of damage.
8 points of damage. All right.
Yes.
So you get that wolf, and what did you attack it with?
My fist.
Your fist. All right. You get that wolf just like square in the face, like right, like before it even has time to react, and it just kind of topples to the ground. That's when you actually kind of notice that when your fist connected, it did not feel that sturdy, like solid, like how a wolf skull should feel. It actually felt kind of mushy, so to speak. That wolf is still alive though, and it's kind of like slowly gets up, and it's now just glaring at you and almost frothing at the mouth, and you can actually see those black tear stains is actually actively now starting to like be cried out of those white eyes as it looks at you. All right,
So-
next.
Well, hold on. I get another attack.
All right, you get a second attack. All right,
Yeah.
go for it.
So like my swing goes in, right, and I feel like the mushiness, and then like I jump back a little bit. I'm like, ugh, and then maybe it like jumps after me, and I try to kick it in the face to get it away from me. With the attack, oh damn, 19 on the dice, so we're looking at 23.
All right, 23. So you roundhouse that wolf in the exact same spot in its face. Roll damage.
We are looking at 7 points of damage.
All right, the first wolf is dead. The wolf just kind of like falls on its side, spasms a bit, and then it just goes limp, and you can just see like now blood coming out of its eyes in the exact same path as those black tear stains, and blood just comes out of its mouth.
I'm just
Well,
trying to
I guess
kick
you
the
wanted
goo
that.
off of my foot. I'm just like, oh, what the fuck?
Now that being
Well, I
the
guess you did win the bet.
he won the bet. Now, the second wolf automatically well, actually, no, we haven't reached its turn yet. So yeah, the first wolf is down. Next up is Davina's turn. There's still a second wolf.
Okay. I'm going to take my great axe and swing it at the second wolf.
All right, roll to attack.
Oh, fuck. Doesn't count. I got. Okay. I got for the attack. I got a 3.
A 3?
Yeah.
Okay, so you swing your
I'll be
axe,
honest.
but your foot accidentally gets caught in a root, and it just kind of messes up your aim, and the wolf is able to just like nimbly back away from you.
Okay, and then for my bonus action, I'm gonna do frenzy attack. Do I have to roll for that? Yes.
Wait, hold on, frenzy attack.
You
What?
didn't say you were already in rage. Frenzy.
Oh, I
is-
didn't know you had to be in a range for that.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, frenzy attack you can only do when you're in rage.
Never mind then.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry.
So you end your
My first
turn?
time playing this type of character. So, I'm just gonna end my turn there then.
Okay, next up is Yip. What do you do?
I'm going to follow Davina and take my spear and ram it into the wolf.
All right, what do you do? What do you roll?
That is a 19 to hit.
All right, 19 to hit. The wolf just isn't able to nimbly dodge out of time. Roll damage.
That's 7.
7. All right, that wolf just gets that spear right through like its leg and almost through its chest, but yet it is not going down. It is looking pretty bad right now, but it is not dead yet. But now its eyes are just looking at you, enraged.
Alright, then I'm gonna spend a key point to do Flurry of Blows.
Oh.
What's up, man?
That is a 12 and a 19 to hit.
Okay, so the first one misses just out of the way, but right when the wolf dodges the first hit, it happens to just go right in the way of the second hit, and you just get it like right underneath the jaw.
Alright.
And roll damage.
That is 6 damage.
6 damage. All right. The second wolf goes down. Both wolves are now dead.
Yay!
Alright.
And I guess I lost my shit.
All right. So with that being said, you had a nice little close call. You easily took out those wolves. You now have 2 dead wolves right before you. And now you actually have a chance. You've never really heard about opportunities where people can actually look at these creatures, because so far anyone that's been able to go up to these animals has always like died in the process. So you actually have a chance to like look at these creatures and figure out what's going on.
Should I be the one to analyze them? Because I've got like a +3 intelligence.
Actually, in this case, it would not be a basic intelligence roll. Whoever decides to look at the wolves would need to do an investigation check. However, one thing I would like to point out, however, is that, and this is something we can do like in any kind of situation, if any of you wants to assist the person in doing an investigation, for the price of giving up your chance to roll your own investigation, you'll give the other person advantage on their roll. So does anyone want to help Polo out?
I have a +4 in animal handling. Is that going to help at all?
No, because animal handling and investigation are 2 completely different skills.
Okay.
And animal handling is really only useful if they were still alive, but they are dead.
Okay. Well, I have a +3 in investigation, so that's good.
All right. So so Yip, you're gonna assist.
Yeah.
Okay. So Polo, roll a d20 with advantage.
Okay.
I just think it'd be funny if you tried to animal handle the dead wolves.
I got a 6 + 3, so I got a 9.
Is that your higher one?
These are certainly wolves. They
Yeah,
are.
was that with advantage, or was that just?
Oh wait, Liam, you have advantage, don't you? You roll twice.
Oh, I rolled twice. Oh, okay, sorry.
And take the higher number, remember?
Okay, so I got a 15 + 3. Okay, so I got 18.
Okay, 18. Awesome. You were looking at these wolves very close up, and there is something clearly wrong with them.
Shit.
Yeah, no, yeah. Aside from the fact that the wolf you're looking at, its face is just like caved in at the side right now. As you just kind of like feel the body, it feels like the skin itself is much more hard and sturdy than it feels like it should, yet you also feel like if you were to just push in a bit, like the ribs and any other bones feel like a little more soft than they should be. Like they feel more like cartilage than actual bone. So like they have a very hard outside, but they have a slightly more chewy inside right now.
Creamy center.
They have a very creamy center, yeah, strawberry.
Can I skin the wolf and take its pelt?
You can certainly try. You do have a hunting knife, so you can go ahead and do that.
Okay, so do I roll for that?
Let's see. No, in this case, the animal is, well, actually, hold on. Okay, so yeah, in this case, roll me a nature check to try and skin the wolf.
And I get a +3 with nature, apparently.
All right, go with that one.
Okay. Ah, damn it.
What'd you roll?
A 4 + 3, so a 7.
Okay, so you were definitely able to get some patches of fur out of it, but for some reason, this fur just doesn't feel right as you skin it.
Okay.
It's hard in some parts. It is like way softer than it should be in other parts. So you were able to salvage enough fur and leather to maybe make like a whole like arm thing, but
that's pretty badass.
But definitely not enough for like a full pelt or a cloak or anything. So that's one wolf you got there. But now here's the thing. You've skinned this wolf. You're now basically seeing like a skinless wolf. So you see like muscle and some bone and such. And you can actually quite tell. Like the tear stains coming out of the eyes. There are all of the veins that you see in this skinned body are all pitch black.
So this is like Princess Mononoke, basically.
I was thinking too!
Yeah, except there's no worms coming out of this thing.
Yeah.
That part made me
Does anybody in the party, can they analyze this at all?
Can I do a religion check?
I'm sorry?
Could I do a religion check?
You can certainly try if you want. Yeah, go ahead and give me a religion check.
Okay, it's 13 plus my modifier. I got 15.
You got 15, all right. You reach out and you touch like the bare veins of this animal, this dead, fresh kill. The moment you touch it, you feel this fire that just goes up your arm, and for an instant, only for an instant, you feel absolute, complete loathing for everyone else in your party. But then just as quickly as that feeling entered your head, it's gone.
And do my eyes like flash black for like 1 second? And
No,
then, like...
for an instant they flash white.
Oh shit. Okay.
But remember, it's only for an instant, but in that instant, it was the most profound feeling of absolute rage and hatred for these people in your party that you have ever felt.
Shit. Okay.
Does anybody see this flash of white?
I would say, well, I wouldn't say so because, like, I'm assuming Davina's looking down at the body as she touches it. So none of you see, like, her eyes as they do this.
Okay.
So, Davina, like, how do you respond to that?
I pull away instantly, and I just step back, and I'm like, whatever this is not holy.
I'm almost wondering if we should head back now. I mean,
kind of give a report, a field.
You are certainly more than welcome to. However, I should point out, when Tarek originally gave you the mission, he pointed out the ruins as the place that you needed to investigate, not just the clearing.
Yeah. All right, then we'll keep going. Yeah, that's fine.
All right.
But somebody write this down. Bard, write this down.
Let it be written. Are you writing this?
I just look at you with a blank stare. I'm like, really?
And I look at him and I'm like, there is no way in hell that I will forget that just happened.
Now hold on, Davina. I'm going to much like how.
There is a way in hell.
Oh no!
Now, Davina, much like how in Critical Role, Matt Mercer would just walk over to someone and whisper in their ear, since we don't have that luxury, I'm going to send you a private message over Discord, something else that you sense.
Sure, it's okay.
But completely off
I'm
topic.
gonna turn off. I have a terrible poker face. I'm gonna turn off my camera.
I really need to start watching Critical Role.
But okay, so a bit off topic here, but I forgot to figure out who Yip's the patron is. I found it, but I'm kind of looking through this deity, and I find one of them, Sylvanas, God of Wild Nature, and I realize something. So I play a game called Rivals of Ages, Smash clone. Character, the God of the Forest, is named Sylvanas. Like, he literally just changed one letter. And I'm like, come on, Dan.
It's funny.
Well,
All right, so I sent my thing to Carly, so now we just gotta wait for her to come back.
I like how Carly has basically in a little box right now. We can't hear her. We can't see her.
Is Davina supposed to be like an elephant-looking person?
No, that's
That is another character that Carly and I play in another campaign. In that campaign, she plays a Loxodon, which are elephant people.
Okay, all right. Because I don't really know what Davina's supposed to look like. I have an idea of what the rest of them are.
Davina, being an Aasimar, is they look like humans. They're just slightly. They're not as tall as Goliaths, but they are pretty tall.
they're kind of more. Think of the opposite of tieflings, where they're more angelic. They're more soft.
They have very light skin. Some of it is almost golden, and some of them do have wings, but others have like feathers sprouting from their shoulders. And I was gonna save this for like a big reveal, but I'm actually a fallen.
Okay.
Aasimar. You guys will find out about that later. Don't worry about it.
If you don't want people to find out, don't say anything.
We're talking about what she looks like.
I was gonna say, if you're metagaming, then that's kind of poo. But if you're not metagaming, which means
Yeah, I'm saying this out of character.
Okay.
I'm just kind of giving background of what she looks like.
yeah.
I would like to say that,
Okay, so Polo has skinned the wolf. Davina has touched the wolf and got that happening to her.
I would like to, Yip, after kind of seeing her jump away after touching the wolf, he kind of like goes over and kind of does kneels next to it and kind of does a silent prayer and kind of giving it without being able to bury it because he doesn't have a shovel or anything. Kind of gives it its rights, basically, trying to pull out peace in death.
Okay, so Yip, if you're gonna do that, I need you to give me a religion check.
Religion?
Religion check.
Got it. That's a nat.
I'm sorry?
Nat 20.
Whoa! Our first nat 20 of the night. Awesome. All right.
God likes you best.
Can Straw play music while Yip does that?
Are you sure you want to do that and attract others?
Really nice.
Okay, fine.
That's really nice.
So Yip,
How about a soft song that has no words?
that works.
It's just soft enough. Not playing the drum. Using that all natural vocal cords.
I love it.
All
My
right.
instinct.
So Yip, as you offer your prayers to hopefully grant this dead animal some semblance of peace, because you rolled a nat 20, you actually do feel something like respond. Now, whatever this response may be, it doesn't feel like words, but just as like a gut feeling that you're given. And you just have this feeling that your prayer has been rejected.
Ooh, yeah.
Even with beautiful music supporting it.
So yeah, you pray, you skin, you touch. Anyone else gonna do anything? Because you also have like another fresh dead wolf right here.
You pray.
Yeah, I was gonna say, as soon as like,
Can
because Eden's weird, he'll like immediately go to. Sorry, Carly, what's your character's name again?
Davina.
Davina. Like, are you like have the look of? Are you okay?
And I just look
Just
at
a
her
wolf.
and I brush it off really quickly and I just say I'm fine.
One of those.
This is fine. Is the house is burning. You're drinking tea. This is fine.
It's fine. It's fine.
Okay, does anyone else want to do anything before you move on?
Can I examine the eyes where all that blood and black tears were?
You certainly can.
Great, I'm doing it.
All right. I would like you to
This
give...
girl's doing something amazing.
I would like...
You know what?
Ow.
I would like now you to give me an...
Boy.
All right, Mistral, I would like you to give me an investigation check.
Come on, Iz.
I got 10 plus 3, so 13.
Okay. You can pretty much at least tell without a shadow of a doubt that this black tar thing that these wolves were crying out, like, it is definitely not normal. Whatever these wolves had inside of them is not even supposed to be in there.
So I shouldn't lick it.
No.
Okay.
Do not lick that.
Okay.
I take her and I just pull her back. I'm like, absolutely
We're just creating the strangest fantasy character I have ever heard.
I see Mistral like stick her tongue out, and I just go absolutely
No.
not.
And I go with Davina too. I'm like, no.
No! Bad Mistral! Heal!
Bad Bard.
No baby wolf, but you're the real dog.
I'm not like other bards.
I'm not even a bard. I'm a pterodactyl.
I did not want to break out my haircut.
I know.
I with dead wolves that cry black from their eyes.
So you're Mr. Dion here telling us about the...
Okay, so you did roll high, so at the very least you do know that this black tar is definitely not natural. Whatever these wolves had, they should not have. But you still don't quite know what it is. You just know that it is not something that is supposed to be here.
Do I have a vial at all I can take a sample?
Oh, that's actually really smart.
I can. This may seem kind of pointless, but if you're willing to just waste a potion bottle,
yeah.
You can then use.
I don't want to waste a potion. I have a feeling I'll need that. Can I have a perfume bottle. Can I empty my perfume bottle?
Ah, all right. Go right ahead.
Great. I'm going to empty my perfume bottle, which happens to be a vial of perfume. And
I would just recommend, though, you dig a tiny hole, you pour the perfume into that hole, and then you cover it. Because if you just have...
So I don't want to attract any...
If you just pour blunt perfume right in the middle of the forest here, everything is gonna smell that.
Yeah, I saw
That might be a good thing, though.
Can I help her out in doing this?
I mean, there's really no need to roll. You're just digging a small hole.
Never mind. I was not sure.
Okay. So I dig a little hole, I put my little perfume in, I cover it up as quickly as possible so that no perfume leaks out into the air.
All right,
and I
good.
decide to take a little bit of the eyeball goop into my vial.
All right, awesome. So you now actually have a very good sample. I'd say about a thimbleful of this black material that the wolves are crying. Now, so yeah, you've pretty much salvaged what you could out of these wolves. Do you continue to... It's still kind of nighttime right now. Do you guys want to continue sleeping, or do you want to move on?
We probably should sleep.
Yeah.
All right, you do decide to finally sleep. I guess it's kind of pointless because none of you ever received any damage, but then again, a lot of you did use like spells and abilities and such. So we'll count this as a long rest. So
I can use that.
So
Okay,
so
sorry,
so
never mind.
so a long rest. You're all fully recovered. Even though you slept for about like, I know it wasn't as good as any of you would like to have slept, but you know we'll still count it as a long rest here.
You have a question. Are you? It's about like the game system. Are you doing points or just like you have markers where you're like, okay, this is where you're gonna level?
This is going to be like a milestone-based
Okay.
campaign. So at certain points, you'll just automatically level up no matter what you've been through. Because honestly, experience points are way too complicated because then you're going to have situations where people have, like, split the party and they're going to get different points than everyone else. That's way too much to keep track of. So you know what?
Yeah.
We're going to make sure you all level up at the same time, at the same rate.
Hey, Evan.
Yes.
Since we're doing a long rest, I gotta roll for my portent or my divination ability.
All right,
But
go.
And I'll send you what I get.
All right, go right ahead.
Oh shit.
I did just add my vial of goop to my character sheet
Mhm.
on
All right.
D&D and Beyond.
All right, good on you.
I'm so proud of you. Oh, Kira, you look so comf. Your blanket.
It's a cat blanket. I'm
So cute.
I'm currently sweating in my closet.
All,
Same. However, I like the blanket.
all right, so you all have had your long rest. You wake up where the sun is now starting to shine. At least you think it is. Because right now, it is just an over... Because right now... You can tell pretty easily that it is morning. However, there is now a thick mist. Like just a morning mist that just engulfs the forest. Now, thankfully, because you all have maps, that doesn't really impede you in any way. You kind of still have a good idea where you're going. So, do you proceed?
Could I
Yeah.
possibly use light?
No, it's not dark or anything. It is light. There's
mist
just
doesn't work that way.
so yeah.
Fly up.
Oh yeah. I kind of fly up and do I see like if this is just in the clearing or if it's like throughout the entire forest.
All right, Yip, give me a perception check.
All right. That is 5.
It is mist everywhere. You can't see shit.
All right.
Your weather report for today is it's all misty.
It's raining sun. What do you think, Solly?
It's gonna rain.
Who wants this dog?
Who wants a dog? All right, so yep, unfortunately you can't see shit because the mist is just as dense as the forest itself, so you can't really see much. But you do however, because you're still above the mist, you can actually now you see like the clear sky. So you get you can actually see the rising sun in the east. So you actually now have a very clear indication of compass directions. And you remember that these ruins, that this ruined cave that you're meant to investigate is northwards. So so you at least know that much.
I fly back down and I'm like, yeah, like sun's still there. Sun.
Good. The sun is still there. Excellent.
All right, so now that you guys know where you're going, do you each proceed? Can I have some yeses or nos?
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
Sorry.
I'm looking at stuff. Sorry.
all right, so you all proceed. You hear like local fauna just kind of chirping around, though. Like in the immediate area where the entire group is, things do fall kind of silent. Almost like whatever is in like the trees and bushes is just watching you. But then as soon as you pass that area, they start making noise again. So there is still that foreboding feeling like you are not supposed to be here. But then you finally do make it to this secondary clearing, and you can see before you what looks like old stone ruins. They are very, very old. And before you, you actually do see a very clear cave entrance. Right now, where you're standing, that sense of foreboding is actually a little bit weaker than it is. Now, that being said, I would like you all to roll Arcana checks. Actually, wait, no, wait. Instead of Arcana, actually, you know what? Make that perception checks. Just
Okay.
make perception.
Plus 2, okay.
I got a 4.
I got 16.
Okay, 18,
23.
18, 16, 23. Mistral, what did you roll?
I got 14.
14, okay. And you got a 6?
Yep.
Okay.
So a 5.
So for both Davina and Eden, this is just like a normal clearing with ruins. You hear nothing but like the local fauna, just like the birds and some insects and such. There's really not much going on here, and there's just a cave in front of you. But for Mistral, Polo, Yip, and Sterling, you do hear something else. And this isn't like a sound that you can just hear like a couple meters away or something. This sound actually seems to penetrate your actual minds. Help!
Oh. Oh.
And that's where we're going to end tonight's session.
Oh.
All right, so it looks like we are going to have to make this a two-parter. That being said, though, guys, you are awesome.
Yeah, this was a lot of fun.
Cool.
Thank you.
I want to make this like a bigger thing.
Well, hold on. Let's get through part 2 first before we make any big
Guys.
commitments like that first, because I want it to be a group vote for everyone.
Uh-huh.
Because I know we all have lives. I know not as much now because of the whole quarantine situation.
I'm pretty sure me
That-
and Carly are in the same boat.
Yeah. But that being said, though, I would like to thank you all for joining for this D&D session right here. And, yeah, that was awesome.